Check. Welcome to the SPS podcast. You are now tapped in with the Raw Bunch. I'm your host and moderator, DJ Strata. When you come in, make sure you wiping your feet. Hit the like on your way in. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our other shows. Fellas, what's going on with y'all?
What's good with it?
What up, bro?
Cooling. Everything good with y'all?
Yep. We here. I'm here.
Yeah. Chilling, man. Work week over.
That's what it is. I like to hear shit like that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I probably will go get a little 5-piece tomorrow, though. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta turn up that overtime. You already know the count.
Something slight, you know.
Type shit.
Yo, he said that every time too.
Right.
Friday today, but I'm gonna go get that extra. Gotta have that extra.
Gotta have that little extra.
Gotta have that shit. It's so necessary, man. That's what it is, man. Glad everything is well with y'all. Man, today's
my
show.
shit lagging, man.
Yeah, I started to say you look a little glitchy, than I'm normally used to seeing you. It's kind of clear though. It's weird. You good?
Good now? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
You
All
good?
right.
All right. So today's show, man, the topic is: are we proactive or reactive when it comes to solutions? Now, to walk y'all down how we even arrived at this is like y'all know one of the biggest parts of the SPS is solutions, like the
Fact.
last S. And so it got me to thinking, right? We've covered, bro, since we've been here. I know it's been a short amount of time, but since we've been here, we've touched so many topics, right? We've offered solutions for problems or issues we might have seen. And so it got me to thinking, like, like, when we're offering the solutions to the audience, right? How many of these people do you think are proactive versus reactive to actually get into a solution? Would y'all say?
I would say vast majority is reactive.
What you mean?
Like once it's, I mean, it's like not really an issue to it's a problem. Then I need, to find, a solution to my problem rather than preparing for the problem that could arise.
Uh, that makes sense. I kind of have that same train of thought, Wardy. Bina, what you think? You think people are reactive when it comes to identifying their problems? Shout out to Queen T. What's up, love?
I think if it's a problem, then it's automatically. I don't see no proactiveness in something becoming a problem so much. Like if something became a problem, was you proactive? You was right. So
Hmm. I see your logic.
I would say
Okay,
reactive. You know what I'm saying?
reactive.
Because I'm trying to think. Yeah, I gotta go reactive because I'm trying to see like how proactive, how something being proactive, like how you have a problem that you was proactive about.
I got you. So here's an example. So let's say,
Okay, okay.
uh,
You know what? Let me
mhm,
change that. Let me change that. Right? Because you like what he said. You prepare for problems, but all problems you can't. So yeah, if you prepare for what you can prepare for. So I
yeah,
say most people are still reactive. I say
hmm
most people are reactive to shit. Like they react after shit happened, of course, because
yeah,
less people are going to prepare for what hasn't already happened.
that makes sense. So my logic behind it too, Bino, is this: I feel like when it comes to issues, I don't see a lot of people like when they're tuning in. I don't even know if they are aware that a problem exists. So I think that by the time they get to us even having a conversation is enlightening them to damn. That's something I might need to work on too, right? But I don't know if
Hmm.
a lot of it is before I caught the pod or the things that I think is a problem. I'm already identified it and I'm working towards finding the answer to it, and y'all just happen to help me with the answer. Does that make sense?
mm,
Jay Ali, what's up, love?
What's up, Jay?
Yeah, kind of like what Queen T is saying. Like I think a lot of people just fail to identify the problem to begin with, and I think that's what fucks up their reaction to someone offering a solution. But before we even get to the solution, that's why I pose a question: are we proactive or reactive when it comes to these types of things? Because I think both can be helpful, but I will walk down why I'm even asking this question this type of way later in the show, right? So I want to start this off. I'm going to see if I'm going to go into a video or ask you all a question first. I guess let's ask a question first, man. Let me see what I want to ask y'all to start the show. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but let me get y'all perspective on this. Do y'all think black people do you think we're reactive to our problems or proactive?
Yeah, I think we reactive for sure. Because I mean, like it go back to like what Queen T said. I mean, a lot of us didn't know shit was problems to begin with.
Mm.
Then I didn't even think something was a problem was a problem. You know what I'm saying? So of course it's black people for sure.
Uh, that makes sense. Woody,
Yeah.
do you agree or disagree with that sentiment?
nah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. I
You
mean,
think we've always been this way?
I mean, I think I don't want to keep going back, but we got. I mean, from our situation, but yeah, I think like we after we get out of slavery or whatever, like that's kind of been the reactive type of thing like we've been going through, and then we kind of got situated in certain places, and then it got what I'm saying, tore down, and then
Mm-hmm.
we've been reactive, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when it's
Mm-hmm.
a problem, we address it, but before it's a problem, I feel like, what I'm saying, before it's a known problem, I feel like a lot of times we might sweep it under the rug, or like really, what I'm saying, not speak about it, out loud, or like, what I'm saying. But we know that it's a problem though. That's what I feel like. I feel like we know it's a problem because it's, what I'm saying, the damage that it's doing, but we just don't know how to, address it. Or we feel like addressing it is not our way sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I feel like we, get caught up in, you know, the hour thing, and we don't really, seek the proper help sometimes that we need to address certain things.
That's a bar. It's a bar. Ivan, do you think that black people in mass are reactive to our problems, or do you think we proactive?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, brother? How
What's
Well,
are
up,
you?
Ivan?
All right. I think a lot of us are reactive. We just like he just said, we don't take the time to when we see something not right, we don't address it when it's a small thing. We wait for it to turn to a mountain before we address it, and then it get chaotic.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I agree with what he was saying.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So trying to think, do I want to give you all an example or get y'all before we get to an example of the way we solve problems, I think I want to start with a Candace Owens clip. This is something that she spoke about uh the perspective of just black Americans, period. And I want to get y'all opinion on this. Y'all let me know whether y'all think she's wilding the fuck out. Y'all think she making sense. But it's a real short clip. Let me know if I need to play it twice. But we're gonna get to this clip and I'm gonna see kind of what your thoughts are when it comes to this.
It's a broken culture, it's a broken society, and hip hop is hurting things. But I also want to talk to you about something I've realized. Even if black Americans are aware and know their history, right? And you can get black conservatives who understand the history much more, who understand, the ills of the left and what the left has done. But still in that regard, they bring to the conservative side the same bad habits that I was hoping black conservatives would be abandoning. And what I'm talking about, number one, is conflict resolution. Black Americans do not know how to resolve basic conflicts. Everything has to turn into a fight. I hate you forever. You got to draw lines. It's like you're this gang or that gang. And you still see it happening in politics.
Mhm.
Do y'all agree? Do you think black people struggle with conflict resolution?
I
Wardy? Let's go
mean,
Wardy, Bino, then Ivan.
I don't like the way that was generalized, you know what I'm saying, as like, you know what I'm saying, the majority. I do think that is a problem, you know what I'm saying, and like concentrated areas where we might be in like, impoverished, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. But overall, I mean, I do think that is a problem in mass why a lot of, violence and things incur like black on black crime and stuff that, conflict resolution is not, what I'm saying, really something we.
We strong at. Bino.
The video was skipping all over the place, bro. I heard five
It's
words.
cool. No, you good. I got you. So Candace's whole premise was black people in whole struggle with conflict resolution. Like
I
we
thought calls
always,
don't supposed to come through on D&D.
yeah, you might have to put it on D&D sleep mode. That's what I always do. But her whole premise was black people just kind of we suck at conflict resolution and we're very absolute. We draw real absolute lines. You either this side or you that side. She was saying spilling the politics. My question to you, Bino, is do you think that our lack of conflict resolution is why the gender wars are still strong? That we don't know how to find the nuance in that level of solution.
Conflict resolution and gender war. I don't think it's a gender war. Um, if for the ones that see like that feel like there's a gender war out here, they going to war with women and shit like that. Then I don't think that black. I feel like this. I don't think black people have conflict resolution problems. I think just we resolve our conflict different ways. That might not be of, you know what I'm saying? It's odd shit. It's like you can look at it as conflict resolution if you comparing to what, you know what I'm saying, other ethnic groups do, I guess. That what you know of, which is mostly white people. But the way people resolve their conflict in a lot of other countries and tribes to this day is how black people do it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when you talk about the relationship shit, it's like conflict resolution is because they like don't want the resolution, bro. They don't have a problem. Like if you literally going to war with the shorty or that shorty going to war with you, she don't want a resolution. They want war.
Okay.
So I don't think people have. I don't think we necessarily have a problem with it. I think some people just don't want to like. They just don't want to resolve it, bro. People operate in chaos. I think more than they realize.
I can
People
see
don't
that.
realize that America is made Western civilization have made it so chaotic that chaos is almost like necessary for a lot of these motherfuckers to even operate in, bro.
Hmm.
Like people are literally pick things just to fuck with you, my nigga. Like you feel what I'm saying? Say
Wow.
things just to fuck with you, women and men.
Hmm. So you don't think that the gender war is real? You think it's just motherfuckers being funny and just aggravating some shit?
No, I mean, I don't think I don't want to say the gender. I don't want that to come out my mouth because I don't want that. Like, it's almost like for me, if I say, "Yo, it's a gender war out here," I feel like that's like I'm being like a part of like something that I really don't. I'm not a part of that war. So if people feel like it's a war, it's a war. If you feel like it's a war, not you, but if they feel like it's a war, it's a war. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just not submitting my thought to that because if I start saying that, then I'm gonna start believing that. If
Okay.
I start, acquiescing and conceding to that as a war, then I'm gonna be a part of the war without even me fucking knowing. You feel what I'm saying? Just like black people be a part of a lot of shit we didn't know. Why we can't resolve problems, you know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, if people want to say we, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why we can't
Mhm.
identify problems, and you know what I'm saying? We just do what most people say. You know what I'm saying? Is it really a gender war though?
Mm.
Do you
I
think it's a
think
gender
that
war?
I think that they frame it that way, bro, to make it more salacious. But I do think that men and women, we have run into a place in this conversation with black men and black women that where we are identifying the problems and issues with each other. And I think that because nobody's really giving good ground one way or another, we're constantly doing this at odds because we don't quite understand each other, right? So I think that the calling it a war might be an overreach, right? But I do think there's a huge misunderstanding between us
It's
when we're
I
dealing with
Yeah,
each other.
I could
it's
definitely
a
go
level
with the
of
misunder.
disconnect.
Hey, Saudi, hello.
What's up,
Hey y'all,
Saudi?
my bad. I was just agreeing with Shredder. I feel like it is a level of disconnect. I ain't mean to cut you off, you know. My bad.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I was just about to say I just could go. I could go. It's definitely a misunderstanding, but I ain't gonna concede to like saying yeah the gender war. Nah, that's not. I know. Nah, we ain't doing that strategy. You know what I'm saying? Hell, nah, I ain't even about to do that shit.
I don't think it is. It
Yo,
is big as
it's a misunderstanding that we definitely can't come resolve at for sure. We definitely have a gender misunderstanding that we definitely is a conflict that we seem to fucking can't resolve. But
Uh-huh.
I think we get ahead of ourselves too much because we in the 30s, right? Um,
Hmm.
you got motherfuckers that's young, that's still in their teens, right? It's not a gender war. You got motherfuckers that's way older. It's not a gender war. I think from the 30s and the 20s and maybe the 40s, I think what's happening is we're changing what was. You
Hmm.
feel what I'm saying? So being that a lot of shit has been fucked up to pieces and got to rebuild it. You feel what I'm saying? People are
Hmm.
battling on how to rebuild this shit,
Uh, huh.
men
That
and
makes
women.
sense.
And some men go against each other. Men will have some women go get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I think being that we like actually rebuilding some shit that we all realized generationally that was not good, and women say fuck this and men say fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit don't work for today. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mm.
we in a process where we got to figure out together how to rebuild. Does that make sense? Or I'm talking wild. You
Yeah,
feel what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to
that
like
makes sense.
articulate the best. I because it really sucks. Like I'm trying to like you feel what I'm saying?
Mm. That's
Niggas
real shit.
complaints is valid. Women complaints is valid. You
I
feel what I'm
believe
saying? So when we say we got to resolve a conflict, not it's not one person that has to do something. Both parties have to. And I think, you know what I'm saying? That might be what it is. Like the women rebuilding shit for themselves, men is rebuilding shit for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna come up with this new tradition that'll probably be 200, 100 from 200. We probably pioneering some shit right now. You feel what I'm
Mm.
saying? And when you think about how many times it failed to make a car back then when a car was created, or when the fucking Wright brothers was fucking with the plane, you feel what I'm saying? Like they was
Mm.
creating some shit. We creating some new social shit, both men and women, that we're going to leave behind for generations that will become a tradition for them.
That's
Mhm.
fair. I like that. I like that. I like that. Good
You know
cook
what I'm
up.
saying?
Child to call me Queen T. She said, I don't think it's a real war per se. However, I think we've got to the point that we think we're one another's enemy. Not tension way, too many personalities are adding to the dysfunction. Um, Ivan. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Sorry. What you got?
Oh no. Like I just wanted to coincide with what Bino was saying. Like I think we both like both female and males are like Bino said working on ourselves so much that we still haven't come to terms with how to put that together.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Um
Do you
yeah,
think we've do
I'm
you
sorry.
think we've done enough self work, Saudi? You think that each side has done the proper way to adjust themselves first?
No, I think we still have a lot more work to do. So that's why Bino was saying like we may not see it necessarily in our lifetime, but it's definitely going to transform to where that disconnect is not going to be as big because we would have been worked on ourselves enough that it can transfer to the next generation.
Got you. Ivan, I got a question for you, brother. Do you think that the black man and the black woman currently are at odds with each other?
Yeah, I would say they at odds with one another,
Okay. In what
and
ways?
that because well, I look at like I said, I look at everything as the foundation of everything is displaced. Like we trying to change something that didn't need to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? It was straight, it was okay, but we and now change we may only making it worse, and we misplacing our purpose of life altogether. So because everything is chaotic now, like let's just say a woman that already got a child. She's not really worrying about marriage as much because she got what it take. That was the reward of marriage. You see what I'm saying? So you already reaping the rewards without going through the proper process. It takes away the purpose, and now it becomes misplaced. Well, you ain't got to work as hard to do certain things no more.
I digress. I mean, I say I digress. I disagree. Because I feel like it takes more work because you do already have them children. I don't think that's something necessarily you don't want no more because you still want that foundation for your children. You still want that father figure in your home. You still want that guidance and that leadership. So I don't feel like the single woman don't want it or don't work as hard. I just feel like we have to work 10 times harder.
See,
Mm.
that's because I want this not just for the women's side, it's also the man's side because men don't have to work as hard to get you know what I'm saying to get the box anymore. So it's the same thing. Their purpose is misdirected and misplaced. They don't have to take care of it. They don't have to take on being responsible as it was before in times in past. Like nobody holding like we gonna say nobody holding nobody accountable. Everybody trying to place the blame on everybody else rather than work on themselves and personalize it on themselves. So we can know what's right. We can know something to do that's right. And we'll say instead of us taking accountability, so well, let's do better. We'll say, well, ain't nobody doing that no more. That's the old way. Well, yeah, if that old way was prosperous then, why do we neglect to follow? You know what I'm saying? Do what we know to do right when we
Mm.
know the results that we want to yield, but we just don't
And
want to take the proper steps to go through it.
you know what's funny to me? I think one of the problems is as far as black people, I think one of the problems is that the minority of people even want to do anything right. I think the majority of people still don't see a problem in a lot of the shit that we even talk about.
Mm.
So when the when I think the minority group of people who come and is trying to do right are coming from misplaced places, places of misplacement, process of unlearning, what I'm saying, process of challenging, and just sounds crazy because that's the type of passion we got for any and everything we do as black people. And it's just
Mm.
it looks ugly right now, but I think work is being done because maybe it's that's something I decide that I want to see or that I something that I want to digest. And maybe I just throw the other shit in the trash. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my tunnel vision, my blindness. Like, cause I can join the bullshit, but it's like almost like transparent from back shit. Like, what I'm saying, coming from a plate. Like, I think people need to start, digging into their past, coming from their past, talking about the flaws, the good shit, the hurt, the pain, all that shit. And I think a lot of emotion come behind it. I think a lot of times when people disagree about shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like like I say, when we like you said, I think we still need to do more work on ourselves. But I think the problem is while we working on ourselves, we still dealing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So it's
feel like
kind of like, can you work on yourself faster if you didn't deal with the opposite sex? I wonder. Or do you end up lose? I don't know. I don't know, bro. That should be wild though.
That's a good question to think about, though.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to. I Actually, I kind of see the benefits in both. I just feel like it may depend on like the person mindset. Because I feel like I could see where it would be helpful to work on yourself with someone else, as far as like that motivational aspect. But then I feel like it could also be a sort of distraction,
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it.
I think people got to learn
I
how to
think
walk and chew gum. Like
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
gotta, you
saying. You
feel
know.
me? Yeah. And I think that a lot of times we work in such extremes that most people think that working on self means I gotta isolate and almost become a fucking monk.
Yeah.
Like I can't fuck with nobody either way and blah 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 blah. All right, now I'm together, and then you realize your whole social muscle for working with the opposite sex is non-existent no more because you've been doing all the work of the self with nobody to even check to see what the fuck that even means. I think that's another thing we say. We so used to letting vague shit come out of our mouths that I don't even think that if you ask somebody to walk whatever they said down 2 or 3 levels, they can do it. Like, nope, not nobody up here, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I heard
No,
motherfuckers
that's the
like,
bar because I be thinking I'm like, like sometimes when I be talking to my homegirl, I be like, who did you ask about? Who else did you like consult with before you said this was okay? Like,
mhm,
so I think people really don't like walk that shit down enough. Like,
mhm,
I don't know if it's like a level of pride or like just a level of like not wanting somebody in your business. But I feel like you definitely got to have somebody to walk that shit down with. That's why I'm heavy on like having like a therapist or like a mentor just to have like, somebody to still check you in a sense, but not check
yeah.
you, I guess.
Well, like you said, when you ask, I've seen it a million times. A motherfucker be like, "Yo, I'm working on myself." You ask them, "Well, what are you doing daily?" "Oh, I'm just kind of just staying out the way of people." Like, man, the fuck. Okay, well, how are you gonna gauge when you've worked on yourself enough to show back up? They don't have an answer. And I think that we've said so many cliche fucking things that can apply to everything that if you actually dig a little deeper, again, that shit start getting real shallow, right? But again, that's an easy way to say it's an easy way to cop out of dealing with the problem of self or even somebody else and say, I'm working on myself, I need to get myself together, I'm doing some self healing, I'm on my journey. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be like, I need to get my purpose. I need to get deep into my career. I gotta get my bag up. But then when you ask them, well, what the fuck does that look like? Nobody has an answer on either side. It
Right.
just sounds good.
Hmm.
So, you know,
And I feel like people need to stop saying, "Oh, I am who I am," because I feel like Beto said earlier, the more you say that shit, like the more it really becomes true. So then you really don't even want to do the work. Like you sit in that space of, "This is who I am." Like fuck it.
There's a comfortability.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's a cop out to even try to even do the work to get the results you said you wanted. I
A
think
happy.
that's what makes it so fucked up is if somebody is who they if someone is who they is, if they are who they are, right? But you don't hear them complaining about whoever they are and they have really no concerns and they just know that I'm gonna just keep floating through how I'm doing. I don't think it'd be a problem. I think it's a problem when you're trying to impose who you are on everyone to accept.
Mm-hmm. To
That's
deal
when
with
it
it.
becomes some bullshit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it gets a little weird for me there.
No,
Um,
that's a fact.
mm.
Because what, nigga?
Yeah, like that's to me that's just some wild shit. What is it? What are you thinking? Is this conversation tracking right? Making sense to you?
Yeah, it is. I was just trying to think like about that I am who I am part because you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think we have endless potential on who we are. So like I am who I am, like I'm a lot more than, you know what I'm saying? Like how they say the majority of the iceberg is beneath the surface. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? What I am is really never,
Who I
you know
am.
what I'm saying, known to everyone, like my full potential. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say it in a way like I am what I am and what I'm not, I'll never be. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, you know, like,
I ain't gonna
you know,
lie.
and
I
that type
love the
of
way you think, but we also know that when people use that
I'm about to say
cliche
that's not.
shit, that's
Yeah.
not what the fuck they be doing in
I was
that.
talking about
yeah,
like
Yeah.
I really fuck with what you said, but like
Mhm.
for like the majority of people that we, talk to every day, I feel like it's just be like the negative aspect, like
yeah,
trying
like I am what I
to
am. I ain't changing
take
for
that shit
nobody type.
or
Yeah,
you leave
Yep.
it.
They be
And
on that
it's just
bullshit.
yeah, it just don't leave room for like growth.
yeah.
That's a fact. Let's get into this next video. This one is interesting. So again, y'all keep in mind we talking about solutions, right? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. What I find so interesting about this video is there will be a problem presented to a black community, right? And I want us to think about how they responded to the problem and whether they were proactive or reactive. But before I play the video, I want to say shout out to them for even coming up with a solution at all, right? So we're gonna walk this down piece by piece, but I think this is a good way to segue into how black people collectively solve real life problems. I think this might have happened not even a few days ago. So this is a fresh solution from people that identified a problem in the community. So tap in. It's a little long, but we're gonna get through it, and I might stop it a few times throughout so we can kind of get a full scope of what's going on.
Turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did the residents tell you about what's going on?
Yeah, I was there just this week. John, it was fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a refuge for black citizens, which is why it was especially painful when neo-Nazis suddenly appeared in this 3,000-person majority black town. But they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets. Now they're at the center of a much larger debate about protection and free speech and who gets it.
These aren't police officers or soldiers.
Your business owners, your fathers, your sons, daughters.
These are civilians, members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program.
It's a duty. Okay, let's go.
The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio.
Ain't nobody scared of you.
After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line of
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durrance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, if they do it again, we haven't broken any law, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, "Our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved." But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch group escorts children to school and patrols the streets.
Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds, so we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our family from what we're doing out here.
While many
can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch group
think?
escorts children to...
I love
That
it.
was definitely reactive.
Yeah. I love it because it's like that's that real like affirmative action. Because I feel like the laws are there, but when it comes to them, they don't do enough to protect us. So it's like at the end of the day, we got to protect ourselves. So it's like it makes sense, definitely.
Okay. So can we agree that there are times of what being reactive is good?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was? Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
No, I was just about to say what. I mean, I don't even know what I was about to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, you good. I guess I want to ask, like, if we can agree that reactive can be good, why do y'all think that went that way?
What you mean? Why you think it went that way?
Why do you think that? Like, what elements in this problem do you think cause Black people to react that way?
I feel like mainly because it's a 3,000 town of predominantly Black people. So I feel like that's a town who all have the same mind frame.
Okay.
So if you were a collective of people who have the same mind frame, you're going to always be on the fence to protect your people. So it's like, how can they have the power to walk in our community with their weapons and we can't do the same to protect our people? That's crazy.
So it's a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
Right?
So what was the question again?
Why do you think it was able? I'm trying to think how I worded it first. What do you think was the element that made it easy for us to react in a way of unison? What element of that
I think it
whole
was
scenario?
the familiarity of the problem.
What was that? What was the familiarity of the problem?
Racism. I think that, you know what I'm saying, like that, just knowing, and who it was, you know what I'm saying, like it's just like any other thing, like if it was Crips and Bloods, like if you know what I'm saying, so it was like it's the same type of thing, like if like I know, you know what I'm saying, these people, like these set of people that have this ideology are my enemy. So if they come around, then yeah, we about to damn squad up. Like that's as simple as that. Like
no, because with this situation, it's like it ain't no turning the other cheek because we have seen in the past when we be chilling what happens. So it's like,
right, it ain't no time to wait and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but heavy. We can't wait because if we wait, then anything is possibly to happen.
So y'all think that because we've seen this problem before and know how bad it gets, that we can get on the same page quicker?
Yeah.
We already know what time it is. We like, yo, we done seen this picture before. We already know what they about. We already know what they own. We know some of the, the law enforcement ain't gonna do nothing because they own the same thing. So, skip all that. Let's go straight to, you know what I'm saying?
And then I think, like I said earlier, it was just easier because it's not like we had to pull people from this part to that part to show up. We was already here with the same mind frame. Like, so it's like.
That's a good one. I'll ask that question to follow your line. I'm gonna ask it to Ivan. So Ivan, do you think that it's easier to identify a problem and find a solution when you're around like-minded people? Ivan, you still with us? He might have a phone call.
Yeah, I got a phone call. I just came back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for that situation, man, I could say that they was prepared for it. Like you could tell that everybody was already disciplined. They already practiced and prepared themselves for when this situation does come along. Because you had a lot of men out there that was able to take up their arms and stand in the forefront and walk the kids to school and stuff. You didn't see a bunch of women in the forefront trying to, you know what I'm saying? You had guys actually that were disciplined enough to come out there and bear their arms the proper way, rather than a bunch of hoodlums just grabbing guns and waving it everywhere. It was well organized.
Okay. So you think it is easier to solve problems when you have like-minded people on the solution?
Yeah, when you and to solve a problem, that's why I said for them, if I look at that right there, I'm gonna say there's something that they've been practicing. Like they've been teaching their young men and stuff how to bear arm and stuff like that the right way. You see what I'm saying? Like they police their area anyway to make sure they stay on top of things.
Okay.
Because
And
if it was like the streets just being reckless, like when you see other riots and all this kind of stuff take place, you got a bunch of young kids out there just doing anything, turning stores to pieces and all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, you got where the men are already they already got the same mind. They already worked on it long enough to be disciplined enough to know how to carry themselves when nobody can come out of order or act out of order.
Like it.
Long you do it in a group and in unity, you can control the situation. It's when you got people doing anything
That it gets
and
chaotic.
outside it or they get chaotic. Yeah. So long
That
you can
makes sense.
construct it the proper way, it's done properly.
but I
Bingo.
You
Go
know,
ahead. Go
uh,
ahead, Woody, and then
no,
I
I was
might
about to
ask
say
the
I
tough
agree with
question.
the, you know what I'm saying, the cooperation part, but I disagree that everybody needs to be like minded because I feel like, more ideas are pouring in from people that have different ways of thinking about things. Like, you know what I'm saying? We might, if we all like minded, we only thinking about it this way. But somebody else might come in and be like, yo, but what about this? And I'm like, oh shit, we didn't even think about that. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Long as it's the cooperation that everybody's voice is being heard and all ideas can get put in the pool, then I feel like then you can come up with the best idea overall. Like when you got everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, regardless of if they feel like, yeah, I want to agree with this or not. Like,
Let me
feel
add the
I feel like
caveat.
when they said, "Oh,"
Go ahead, Saudi. You
I
good?
was just saying. I feel like when he was like when he said like mines, maybe not everybody have like the same like, oh, we're gonna get our straps, but as far as the collective
Go.
to
Yeah.
go to
to
protect our
protect. Oh
like
yeah. Facts,
we
facts,
are all Black individuals that came to this town because we knew the benefit of how we could prosper being around our own people, you know?
facts. And I think that the area, like how they, were able to come together and protect like that, because they, you know what I'm saying, it's a small. It's just like being from Burt T. If we from Burt T, we know everywhere to go to protect the kids and how to go move. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be like they say they store owners and things like that. So it's just a sense of being out there, being present, being seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we out here protecting these kids. It might, you know what I'm saying? It may look organized because they just out there being present. You know what I'm saying? Like, so not saying that they not or whatever, but yeah.
Saudi, is it the fireplace or the background? Like, why you just jump in my brain and take that clarity? Like, what's happening? Like,
It's the fireplace, you know. I had to
okay.
switch it up because people was mad I had paper blinds, but fuck them.
Okay. I heard that shit. I said, damn, not Saudi giving the clarity I was about to give. Talk that shit. I hear you. Hey, Bino, you want a tough question?
Yeah.
Not really. Go ahead though.
You
All
know,
right, well, then
picking
give
with
me
the
your
stuff.
reaction to the video. Then I ask everybody the
Now you
tough
got to
question.
give me a question because I don't know what's up today, but the videos won't play for me today. They just lag and pause on me, and that shit never happened. I'm doing the same thing I do every Monday and Thursday. That shit going crazy. I don't know.
So,
That's why I was
here's the
trying to watch it on
question.
my other phone, but yeah, but
Mhm.
but go, but
But
so yeah.
yeah, I'm
But
gonna
I
give you
mean,
the
the goal of just what they said. Now yeah, give me a question because I don't want to fuck up the good Black Panthers mood.
you good. So, like you said in the video, you saw the KKK had a radical rally that was right outside the school, right? They responded in kind. They protected the kids walking around. What we were just talking about is how easy it is to get something done when you're around like-minded people, right? why is it when it comes to this gender misunderstanding, we can't apply that same thing?
And in that particular situation, everybody identified the same problem.
Mm-hmm. Facts. That was
Keep cooking.
Simple.
Keep
That's
cooking.
simple. Everybody identify the same problem. It's way easier to if everybody identify the same problem as a problem, no questions asked, and that's easy for us to line up. Like what he say, throw ideas in the pot. How we gonna work this shit out? You know what I'm saying? But in this gender shit, everybody don't identify the same problems as problems. It's gonna be this with this one-on-one shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's why if you just find your one, bro, you're not gonna get along with 100 women. You're not gonna get along with 100 men. Like my thing is this, right? I don't care to be liked by a whole bunch of women on the sense of if I'm trying to, I don't need a whole bunch of women to love and like me. I just need one. Now, so I'm gonna be out there for that maybe to happen, but I don't care if you feel what I'm saying. Like you don't you're supposed to really not care, bro. Like if your intent is good, if you know put in the work, if you did certain thing, put in the work ain't all easy. When people say put in the work and healing, that shit don't mean nice and sweet. Kindness is warranted but not necessary, dog.
Yeah.
Healing means I ain't going for nothing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
Right.
put myself in the damaged position again. And however that may come across based on my personality, how it's going to come across. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. You know what's funny though? Before we get to the next topic, I do want to bring it. And shout out to Queen T. She said, Bino said it earlier. Everybody doesn't want a resolution, and everybody doesn't agree on the issues to address. And I think that is a key issue when us get into the solutions to these other problems is that we have to come to a place of agreement before we can even get to a resolve to move together. But like you said, I'm just pointing out different scenarios where we agreed, we stuck together, and we got some shit done, right? Before I go ahead, Saudi, what you got?
And to your point, like I just think it was easier for them to come to a resolution because it was both of us against another,
Outside entity.
Yeah, instead of when together is us against each other, and it shouldn't be like that.
We're gonna get there. That's a good point. Now, I'm gonna play the end of that last video. I had to go back on YouTube to find it, but I want to get y'all reactions on how people outside of us thought about what we did, and then we'll bust down that conversation after this part of the video. But I do want to get y'all insight on this because I think this was super interesting. What they took from it, and want to see if I'm thinking how you all are thinking. Give me 1 second.
On state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carrying, guys.
So, Morgan, let me ask you, one of the people you interviewed there, a young man, said he's never felt safer in his community than he does now. So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it. What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Duran's, I don't want to speak for him, but after my conversation with him, I feel like I could confidently say he would say the contagion factor has already happened. Because when I asked, is this a reaction to a local moment or a national movement? And he said, look at January 6th. He said, you already have people felt emboldened to come here locally because of what they saw nationally. If you can hang from the building of the hallowed halls of the Capitol and then be pardoned, not be prosecuted, why don't you think you can come to a small village of African Americans, only 3,000 people?
Morgan, does the group have any real authority? But as long as they stay within the confines of the law, they should be okay.
It's a great question. I asked that basically, are you stopping cars when they come in because you think someone looks suspicious? Is that, profiling in its own sort of way? And they said, no. We are patently aware of what our rights are and what our limitations are. They said, we're not officers. What we do is we are trying to cooperate with the police department. So if we see suspicious activity, because remember the KKK came back with flyers just after this rally. So they're saying this is more of a defensive posture to deter people from entering our community and showing them by virtue of our mask, by virtue of our guns, that you can't come here and we're not going to take this punchline down.
All right. An important story. Fascinating. NBC News correspondent and NBC.
Hey,
What did y'all
who
think
the
about
police?
that?
Who the police was trying to put restriction on? So when the black people did whatever they did, was the police in their way of doing that shit? Because
No.
the video was lagging for me. Okay, I just wanted to ask that because the police was lagging.
Yeah,
I was
because they
just
were
wondering.
just
So when the KKK came through, did the police do anything about that? Or
nope.
Okay, but the black people did peaceful shit. They did peaceful shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just operated in the lines of the law. So
Yep.
they do
Okay,
what they
okay. I just want to know because y'all know that I ain't get to see, so I just
Mm.
all right. So I can go ahead.
Do
All
y'all
right, go
think
ahead, bro.
that it's interesting the way the other people even looked at that? Did y'all find that interesting? The types of questions they had? Am I tripping?
What I mean, I felt like from what I got from it, I felt like they were more shocked that they moved the way that they moved. I don't feel like they had a problem with it. I feel like it was just a shock factor and just making sure like they didn't break no laws. But I guess I get what you're saying with like how they question about the laws necessarily as far as the okay, yeah, I see that.
I picked up on when the older white gentleman said, "Are you worried about this contagion spreading?" Like the way he worded it, it gave me a little cause for pause, and it seems almost as if they were more concerned with the black patrolmen staying within the confines of the law, and it seems like they totally disregarded what even caused us to even be here,
Right.
right? And I think that a lot of times when we looking outside of ourselves with these issues, you start to notice that the people that have an opinion that don't really fucking matter, they always criticize whatever you do. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want that to be a lesson to everybody watching is that your solution is not supposed to fit everybody around you. This goes back to the self, right? If you're trying to find a solution for fucking you, there's always going to be somebody with an opinion that's going to question the way you do it and how you do it. If you're caught up in that shit, you'll never act because it's always somebody they can be like, oh well, are you
See,
feeling
yeah.
this?
Not
You
trying to
see what
cut
I'm
you off there.
saying?
Like that's the point I was making when I was like, I don't need goddamn all these goddamn women to look at me the
Mm-hmm.
same for me to get the one. All I gotta do is be present around a bunch. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta
That
do is,
part.
you know what I'm saying. But I don't. Well, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers be wanting every woman in the world to like them. Every
Yeah,
man in the world to like them. More so men do. Like nigga, unless you want every woman in the world, why does it matter? You feel what I'm saying? Like
Good
for real,
point.
for real.
That's a real good point.
yeah.
I like that. I think
Everything
that was.
for
Go
everybody.
ahead, Saudi.
Oh no, I just was saying everything ain't for everybody. Like
Yeah, and it ain't supposed to be. And I think that that's the part that we have to get okay with is that there's a way to group think and then take your is the way to group think and then take what you gathered from the group think back to your individual corner and apply it to your shit. I think that we get stuck on trying to agree on everything all the time that we never go no fucking where.
and that's a bar. Like it's all about that discernment and being able, like you said, to pick and choose what's for you and what doesn't necessarily align with you. Like
Mhm. And
Yeah,
I think,
everything don't align with everybody. And I
mhm,
think a big thing, you know, the internet is cool and shit, but I think with the social media and shit, that shit will confuse somebody if they don't know which way to go yet. I think looking for answers on the internet is crazy because you're gonna get so many of them. You're gonna get everybody own personal shit, general shit, whatever the case may be, which is cool. You pick out the idea is to pick out what works for you or try what works for you or what makes sense to you, but you have to have a sense of self to even know what makes sense for you.
exactly,
yeah. Shout
exactly.
out to Queen T. She said, what I find dangerous about the group think is that it's easy for it to become an echo chamber. And that's a fact.
Yeah,
I think that solving individual issues as a whole can have its drawbacks and can have its advantages. So, like, if we all understand that the foundation is a religious one, then it's a lot easier to address you individually because we know what we're all falling under.
mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about secular problems and we're solving it from the secular part of our brain, it's going to be a little tougher because everybody don't think about this shit the same way. Meaning, do you want for a woman, do you want men to stop being dogs because you want him to be your husband, or do you just want a boyfriend that don't cheat on you when you fucking them? Like that matters. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? What you want out of the issue you bring up matters on how you go about fixing it, or whether it's risen to the level that everybody gotta be thinking about your personal shit. Like, how does us helping you solve your personal issue? What does that give back to us as a whole? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times we don't look at it that way, right? And I think it's cool if you don't, but I think that if we start getting more honest about the intentions of the problems we bring in, it'll be a lot easier to walk down these solutions, whether proactive or reactive. Make sense?
Definitely so.
It makes sense, but like I just felt like hold on, I gotta drink something because I was just eating something.
You good.
I feel like everybody don't know how to, like, that's the problem. Everybody is so used to putting on this facade and to this mask or to like hold this level of what they deem society think is like value that they don't know how to walk in their true self. Like dead ass. What I found out with being on like the internet or what YouTube is, motherfuckers they really don't like their self. Like, and that's the issue. If you don't like yourself and you don't love yourself, how can you expect to find it?
It's fair. I think that's a fair point. I like that. And I think that the work itself be so fucking hard for people that it's so much easier to always point to something outside yourself, right? So I think that's why that happens in mass. Now, before I go to the next concept, I want to show how what happened in Ohio, we've seen this before. How black people have come together for a similar issue. Let's watch this real short video and get y'all thoughts on this. Same kind of idea. You know, we have our position, black people getting together. Let's see what y'all think about this one.
Picture this, California 1940s. No black gangs in LA, just young white spook hunters aiming to keep black people out of white neighborhoods. These weren't ordinary gangs. They later joined the KKK and LAPD. But we didn't stand down. Black community members united, forming groups not for violence, but for resistance against these spook hunters and their racist agendas. This was our fight for survival, our stand against growing white supremacy, supported by the police. Fast forward and it's clear. Our unity was our power. We dismantled the spook hunters, transforming our neighborhoods. Yes, gangs often have a bad rap today, but ours, they were about pro-blackness resistance. Now it's our turn to keep the legacy alive. We must continue forming alliances, controlling our narratives on violence, resistance, and black unity. Will you support truthful, accurate, empowering black history content with a donation?
What are y'all thoughts on that?
That's what I was saying. It's just a familiar problem that we've been dealing with. So it's just that's why it's so like you say, it's a familiar problem, and everybody agreed that that's the problem that or knows the outcome of that type of problem. So it's like, yeah, we on that. But I mean, as far as from a gang what was that a gang that it was? What gang was
Yeah.
that? Do you know?
I think they was talking about some of the street organizations that will later turn into Bloods and Crips in different ways. Well, I think in essence, because I saw Slauson, I would probably lean more towards it being a Crip thing at first. But it was almost like they were organizations that were responding to the spook hunters, which was, you know, white people infiltrating the community type shit. And that was the response to it. Is this how we gonna protect our own type shit? You know, it's just like if the SPS decided, yo, these white folks is fucking with us and Bert T, we finna go around and make sure our people good. You know, just checking up. Y'all straight? Y'all straight? So again, that means we're gonna be around each other like we are now, on foot. You know what I mean? Being militant about the shit. So I think that speaks to how a lot of these
I have a question.
Yeah, organizations started. What you got?
Do you know if that was before or after segregation?
It was the 40s, so I would say after.
A little bit after.
Yeah. Let me make sure that. Let me look
because
that up.
I feel like because I was just thinking like, when did the disconnect happen where we stopped protecting ourselves? Like, you know, and I feel like that happened when segregation happened. Like when we look to like, you know, the white man more so for protection because now we was all in the mix.
I mean, that's easy.
You talking about segregation? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it didn't happen. That's easy. It ain't happened during desegregation. Because a lot of shit, a lot of black people still came together. during desegregation time. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It was drugs and greed and money and survival. You feel what I'm saying? It was literally drugs. It was literally drugs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
And now that I
literally drugs.
down with
Drugs
Well,
brung
I don't
money
know.
and greed and all that other shit. Like, you know what I'm
yeah. I
saying?
was just like, yeah, and I was just thinking, like, I was just trying to figure out just like where the disconnect happened because it's like, for a while, that's what we did. We protected our
But
own.
but
We for our
but
own.
but I be tired
I'm
of hearing
saying
that shit now. Oh, go ahead, Woody. My fault.
no, I was just saying like I think redlining contributed to what Bino was saying. Like
Oh,
they redlined us, put us in a certain area, then flooded it with guns and drugs in that area. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know that area became the ghetto. They didn't in those certain areas they didn't give loans to people in those areas for houses. They didn't do certain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was a systematic thing that happened, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying, that put us in a position to lose, bro. Like,
Yeah, for
you know,
sure, for
and I
sure.
don't want to harp on that, like, you know what I'm saying, but like if we gonna talk about how the fall
How did
happened,
it happen?
that's how
Yeah.
it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? They seen us, we got free, we started doing our own, we was very well with our hands and all kind of working stuff so we could do for ourselves. We started doing for ourselves, building our communities up. And then I think it was seen that we could do that. So it started like, all right, we can't let this happen because of this reason. Like they populate so fast, they do, you know what I'm saying? Like they gonna outpopulate us and so we gotta figure out a way. All right, boom. We gonna push them down. We no first we gonna make these strict laws and this and that to try to stop them from doing certain things. You can't put your money in the bank. You can't do this. You can't do that. But that kind of helped, you know what I'm saying? I'm just off subject right quick. That kind of helped Cadillac when they was about to go out of business. All the black people had their bread in their house and they, you know what I'm saying,
right.
because they couldn't jump in the Cadillac and push them back to the top. You feel me? So that's just a little side note. But yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
from the systematic portion of pushing us down to a certain area, funneling that area with guns and drugs and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
and before the
And I
guns and
didn't even
drugs, after they knocked shit down, motherfuckers went about their business, went to end up in other communities, built community back again, went political, tried the political route. They killed all the political leaders, all the political activists, locked their ass up, killed them motherfuckers, threw drugs in that bitch and guns in that bitch, and then we here today. You know what I'm
yep.
saying?
I didn't mean to sound like
They
derail.
they, they we got switched out with we got switched out from political activists to entertainers. The entertainers you know what I'm saying, and boom.
Right.
You know what I'm
They
saying? They
want
flip flopped
somebody
it
to lead
from
them. There you
Yeah.
go,
yeah.
Bino. That's right. They want somebody to speak for them and be so we can put these, you know what I'm saying, rappers that talk about, stupid shit that's gonna be non-conducive to the
Mhm.
growth and development of our people. So they continue, like bro said, like anybody that's gonna bring us up out of stupidity and you know what I'm saying, just
Mhm.
you know,
A low level.
right, then they get smoked. But
Mm,
these people that's, you know what I'm saying, like you see them beat all type of trials and they all type like make them idolize in our community because
right.
they beat some
Mm-hmm.
jail shit. Oh yeah, damn, this nigga
Mm-hmm.
got to be the realest nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Yep.
stupidest shit that's ever like that we ever thought, but that be the, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like the going mentality of, so but that won't be looked at as a problem though. So how would that ever be fixed? You feel me? Like
But it
that'll be
is
looked at as a real nigga. That'll be looked at as the way to go if you want to be like this. Like you feel me?
but
So
now that we broke that shit down, we understand that it is the problem. So it's like, okay, if we understand it's the problem, we can't sit with that shit no more.
you
You
mute,
on
sorry.
mute. You on mute.
I think another subtle answer to your question, Saudi, is what changed from then our militants to now. I think that our aggressive, our ghost enemy, our
Hmm.
enemy became a ghost. So it wasn't outright fuck you niggas, y'all on that side, I'm on this side. Like we're gonna wear white coats and cloaks. I think what happened is the enemy slowly evolved and they weren't as outright as they were at
Right.
first. And
Hmm.
so, and again, to y'all point, that's when the guns, drugs, and all that bullshit came, was because it wasn't like we're gonna stand directly in front of y'all. We can't attack y'all like that no more. You
Right.
get redlining drugs, guns, and here we go.
And that's why I said, like, I knew everything that y'all was saying, but like
Mm-hmm.
it started for me when we started to commingle more. You know, like I feel like I was just like that was the like the head for me, and then everything else, fell in line. Like, so that's really how it, trickled down. Well, not
Makes
really,
sense.
but like over time. Yeah, my bad.
Ivan, what you think, bro?
Yeah, I was also about to add that you got to realize over time because of the single homes and stuff like that, it weakened men like their way of thinking. Like
Mhm.
every dude, back then, every dude sold drugs because he wanted to basically take care of his family. If I was a young man, I work hard because I'm gonna sell drugs, do whatever because I want to take care of my mother and my sisters behind me. But then you
Mm-hmm.
get to a point where, in the process of that, you got to realize back then you couldn't just go into a household and talk to somebody's sister unless you went through the father and the brothers. But as
Mm.
time prolonged and the mother started leaving, now the young men start seeing John, Mike, and everybody come back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It mess up a young man mindset of it's no protection. This is where it's supposed to be, which give that woman more free will to do as she please, and that man become less of a man because he's thinking it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So once you lose that sense of urgency to protect your mother and your sister, what your father taught us back then you lose the urgency of what it is to actually be a man in a way. Because you
Mm.
think it's okay to do that, and you will start performing the same thing on other women you run across. So it's like a whole cycle that plays along with the man mindset.
That makes sense. I like that. I'm gonna switch it up. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the SPS podcast and the Raw Bunch, man. We got some good content for y'all. I
I was
want
about to say something, but I ain't gonna say it.
to. Now you got to say it.
I just don't like how Ivan be like. It just be like it's either you leave the woman out or the woman was the problem. Because right there you were just like the woman left the home, negating the fact that niggas was leaving the home as well. But that's just my little piece.
I'm sorry you think that. I won't really. So when I said something, it's not really saying that the woman is trash, but when I say it as a whole systematic thing,
No, I
we already know that.
understood the
Yeah, we already
systematic,
know the basics. So
but it's just like how it
so
always
You gotta
comes
let
off.
him finish. You gotta let him finish, Solly.
I'm
He
sorry.
explaining.
yeah, so it's not. So everybody always gonna say like we already know about the whole systematic way, right? But it's saying in the process of that, it's what it like you got to realize a lot of things what it do to a man. So a woman raising a man on her own, that's why most guys now, it's not to put on you, it's because the father is not there. That you been a woman is gonna raise that man to be more feminine without him, even though he portrays some of the masculinity because he watch TV and watch the games and how the men operate in the streets. He's gonna pick up some manly qualities, but at the same time, he's not learning how to control his emotions as he would if his father was there, making sure his father check him every time he get out of control. So that's how you get young men start talking back to the mother. That father would check him. Like, who you talking to, boy? That's your mother. That's your, you know what I'm saying? But and brothers and sisters, uncles and stuff uncles would do that. But because now the you know what I'm saying? So basically women got free will. Like you don't like that's just like saying now if you're a woman, right? You get grown. I would suggest start stay at home and take like help your parents with whatever situation they got. I would tell the guys to go out there and try to make a living, try to figure it out. But as a woman, I would suggest stay home and deal with the parents, like help them out whatever they got going on to make sure they straight, and then hopefully a dude gets you. Then you start a career and all this stuff to go on because now you learn how to help somebody rather than yourself and trying to do things yourself. You know how to do it in the midst of a unit now. But
Yeah.
our mindset is that all of us, men and women, now is we're gonna get grown and get gone. We're gonna do what we want to do, get our own home and everything. But yeah, we're gonna leash off our parents when we do need something. We're gonna go back and run back to them when we need help. When all we had to do was get them in a good place. I said, I look at women should be doing more so like that to protect themselves, so they won't be out here, you know, what I'm saying, getting in a lot of crazy situations. A
Mm,
woman should always have a covering if I was to look at it.
No,
Man,
I
take that down, Strata, because we ain't respond yet. See now, Queen T gonna think we taking her comment and using it for because I was about to say some shit
yeah,
that she said. And
yeah,
Queen T
yeah.
gonna come in, you gonna leave her comment up there. Because now I don't even want to say what I was about to say because it's
That,
exactly what Queen T just said.
that's basically what I was about to say too, Bino. But I just want to say this one little thing, and I'm going to digress. I understood what you were saying, but I'm just was letting you know like how it was coming off when you were saying that. Like, so yeah.
Now I was just about to say, I don't know when it's more so. I think Ivan, what is more so heard is like you identifying what the women had to do after the men was either leaving, getting locked up, or being killed. Right? You can't just. I'm not saying you can't, but that's how it's going to be heard. Like you skipped that whole process and went right to women can't do this like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. It's like because before the women even had to do the best they can with raising boys, because if we're gonna talk of all women, right? Men either I don't even want to say men even went to war. Like we go back to history, like we've been talking. They got drafted, they came back, got on drugs, they came back, like you said, try to do for their family, so then they got locked up. You feel what I'm saying? And shit like that. So it's like it's more so like you put women in a very fucked up. Systematically, black women was put up in very fucked up situations. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, they only gonna be able to raise a child how a woman is, genetically and biologically made up to do. Like you cannot expect a woman to do a man's job. It's like impossible. Like it's literally not designed that way. Literally by God. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's why as black man, we know we always hear each other say a woman can't raise a man, a woman can't raise a man. That should be more incentive for us to be in the homes, man, because we know women gonna raise men how women gonna raise men. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's they
Mm.
gonna try to make them a boy, but in the sense like where if you ask a woman to imitate a man, like how men be acting, like you will know how, like, you know what I'm saying, like how they gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, so but that's not their fault though. That's our fault for not being there. You know what I'm saying? If we want to change on that, like we gotta be there. Like bro said, like we do have to be in that home, chastising them boys, showing them the right way, telling them, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I commend the mothers for, you know what I'm saying, raising the boys the best they can. But I also have to say that women can't raise men. Like, you know what I'm saying? So men, we need to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we need to, you know what I'm saying? If we not at least there, we need to be in these, like kids' lives in a, just, you know what I'm saying, a lot more. Like so they can, have a good example to go off and you know what I'm saying? Like know what it is, or have some type of man in that, these boys' lives, like, because that's what the problem is. Like
Yeah.
if we having a long era of women raising men, and now we complaining about the men that the women had raised because they didn't have no fathers. We won't having these problems when men was in the family raising the men. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now look at the era. Like, you know what I'm saying? That what we like Bino said, it ain't no war with the youngins because we back in the homes now.
Right.
It ain't no war with the old heads because they had fathers. It's our shit that's fucked up because of what we were just talking about. You know what I'm saying? So look at it. Like look at what the fuck we talking about and what we trying to get these statistics, problem solutions on, and look at the real age group that we talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? And look
Exactly.
at why the result of men going to jail, men not being in the home, and now like it's us. Like that's fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the result. So if y'all don't want these continued results that y'all seeing from, our age group, like we trying to tell y'all how to stop this shit for real. Like,
Cause that was like my main point. Like we didn't just opt in to be a single mom. Like I'm pretty sure we didn't want that.
now I ain't hold on now. Let me I ain't saying that all y'all ain't jump
Oh
out there and
yeah,
try to
like
sack
all
some
y'all,
niggas
but
off and
I feel
shit.
like for the majority though, I feel
Yeah.
like the majority definitely didn't want it to be a single parent.
Man, I feel it though. Like I was just saying, I was just playing about that, but I'm just saying, like for real, like I agree, man. But you know, that was a real good point. Like it ain't the old, your youngest ain't going through this shit, and the old heads ain't going through
Right.
this. Us
It's
uncles.
It's
somewhere in
our
between.
shit. It's our shit, man. It's motherfucking millennials, man. You know what I'm saying? A hint of Gen X, but they damn near out the way. You feel what I'm saying? But it is 90%, 85, 90%, I say is millennial shit. That because bro, we products of the bullshit. We was born into all the bullshit, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a
Right.
And we was born into and by the time we became teenagers leading into young adults, we was becoming adults in a new transition of a world. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it make like relate to the minimum level of even this relationship shit makes sense to me because really our generation try to reconstruct all this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Socially at least.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's a ball. I like it. I
okay,
like it.
Dino, go off.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the SPS podcast. We're gonna do a quick little exercise. Something to keep things shaking up, keep y'all on y'all toes. I know you're
It's
watching
always
videos and responding. Yeah, you know me.
we
I
do
always keep a little trick or
exercises,
two.
the test.
Yeah.
Like it's always something.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta make sure y'all paying attention, man. We gotta keep mixing it up for the audience. You know, we don't want to become just monotonous, like, okay, here they go with this shit again. Like, nah. So, y'all know the topic of the show. Like, we've been looking at whether we're proactive or reactive. So, this is what I did. I came up with a proactive and a reactive circle. And I know some of y'all can't read it, and that's cool. But what we're going to do is I've identified a few problems I think we face as a black community as a whole. And I want y'all to tell me whether you think black people as a whole, when it comes to solving this problem, whether we are proactive or reactive. So again, we got the problems that black people face in the middle. One by one, I need to know whether we're gonna move it to the proactive side, we're being proactive in solving this problem, or whether we are being reactive in solving this problem. First up, got a softball. Where are we putting KKK and racial inequality? Are we solving this by being proactive or reactive? Ivan, what you think?
For the KKK,
Yep. Are we
uh,
proactive in solving this problem or reactive when it's come to solving this problem?
I think we reacted most of the time
Okay, that's one for reactive. Why do you say that?
because sometimes it just it comes out the blue when you got to deal with like let's just say over in Bertie, the KKK come around there, and our mindset it's something we ain't had to deal with like that. You know what I'm saying? Besides the little towns that got that stuff, but so
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna actually be prepared for it. We just gonna react out of whatever come to everybody as an individual to start doing whatever.
Okay. Saudi, do you think we are proactive or reactive in solving the problem of racial inequality or the KKK?
Um, I think we were so reactive too. I feel
Okay,
like we could do a little bit more to be a little bit more proactive.
got you. Uh, Bino, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to racial inequality?
We reactive, man, because at the end of the day, the KKK wanted to do a lot of shit if we want to do a lot of shit to ourselves. If the idea of the narrative and the truth was um that the dads is always going to be the moms are always going to be around by them kids, standing beside them kids while the dad's standing in the front lawn on everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
not shit that got to become extreme or shit that got to become chaotic or hectic, but just everyday regular shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll be more hesitant or just coming through your shit trying to disrespect your shit unless they want some bloody shit to pop off. And really 9 times out of 10 they don't because they be cowards. KKK
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers.
No,
Feel what I'm
that's a
saying? Because
fact.
we probably work around them motherfuckers every day. Feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of them a member of that bitch. They cowards. Feel what I'm saying? So I feel like we reactive because I think preparation for shit like that, because they don't do anything that's outside the law. So anything, the
Right.
only thing you can prepare for is live inside the law and do good and have a community that's strong. So know if you come through this motherfucker, it's a different type of vibe, right? It
That's a
won't be no
fact.
shot. You feel what I'm saying? Know that when you come, we got our own neighborhood watch, not because we scared little JoJo going kick the door, but anything look crazy around this bitch, just like they do, just like the Karens do. Oh, now we waking up calling our neighbors. Hey yo, Strata, you see? Fuck that weird
Mhm.
ass. What the fuck that white hood up there the street like that? You feel me?
Type shit. I like it. Wardy, what you think? Are we reactive or proactive when it comes to the problem of racial inequality?
I agree with the panel on this one. I think we definitely reactive.
Okay.
But I think in this sense though is I think like they said is really only that's I mean it doesn't really arise like that to what I'm saying. It's just something that's pop out the blue like so. When it happens, we already. But I do think that, we are kind of proactive and already being prepared and know what to do and knowing the enemy at hand and, what I'm saying, what the capabilities are and like, tactics. So I think we, prepared to handle it, but I don't think we just go around every day just, what I'm saying, preparing for it and being ready and just in case this happens. Like I don't think it's a necessity like that.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Single motherhood. Wardy, let's start with you. Are we proactive or reactive in finding the solution for single motherhood?
Shit, I think that was should stay right in the damn middle. Cause we ain't, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, we, I definitely don't think proactive. So I'm gonna have to go with reactive.
Okay. Bino, single motherhood. Are we proactive or reactive?
What proactive? Have we ever seen a mother like what? Like, are we proactive? We're
Uh,
having mothers be single.
no, we're trying to find a solution to this problem. Are we
You know
proactive or
the
reactive?
solution is okay. You ain't asked me what the solution was.
Right.
We ain't neither.
I know that's why Wardy said keep it in the middle. But if you had
So
to
you-
take a guess, are we proactive or reactive?
to find a solution to single motherhood, I
Yes.
guess we was proactive until Trump came in that motherfucker. I guess.
Okay. So you saying we reactive too?
No, I said we was proactive until we still got to go with majority of time. He just been around, so we
Okay.
gonna base things on what had was been instead of what just became. Right. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. We was. I guess they were proactive. I guess I got to go with they was proactive, and
And
you
what
know
I mean
why?
by that is, like you said, not the what I'm not talking about the deletion of
Or not even that.
fetuses.
Them joints in the gas. I mean, them joints in the CVS and shit like that. I guess that's considered that too,
Okay,
huh?
proactive. Okay, got you.
So
So
that would
BC,
be pro.
stopping
Hold
single
on, hold on, hold on.
motherhood from happening.
BC, all that shit.
Okay, got you. Okay.
What
Saudi,
do you-
Saudi, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to the
Hey
problem
yo,
I
of
mean,
I
single
mean,
motherhood?
technically, Wardy. I mean,
I mean,
technically,
if Vito won't put that shit on the floor, then yeah, I guess I go with proactive.
because
damn, I had
technically,
to switch my answers too. Then
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking like that.
Oh shit.
That's
he made
wild
Okay.
me
though.
answer. I said in the middle, but if I had to pick,
Yeah.
with those things being involved, then with those things being involved, it's proactive
Now,
because no, it's
Yeah,
not.
because they
I
was
don't
they
say it's
was popping
reactive
up like
because that
vitamins.
keep you from being a single mother.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I
So
thought about
it
like
can't be
you
reactive.
know,
You feel? It got to be proactive. Though they do those things because they're proacting to not being a single
Yeah.
mother, right? Or no?
No, I feel you on
nah,
that
that's
one.
right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right. But
that's
it's in like I mean it's right, but
Because if they was become a single mother and they was reacting, I mean, they will all do what they got to do, right? They would they would use no form of birth control, and the kids would be here, and then being reactive to single motherhood solution is putting everybody with a nigga that's what I'm saying,
okay. Ivan.
or staying with your kid's father and your kid's father, what I'm saying, that would be reactive, right? Or no? Oh man, don't ask me that shit no
Yeah,
more, man. I
or
don't know.
just
I
I'm
think
done, man.
being
I feel
reactive
about
would be
loss of
like,
yeah.
I think being
yeah.
reactive would be like what we doing, like talking about it and bringing awareness to why it's, you know what I'm saying, not probably not the, you know, the best thing to do, you know what I'm saying,
hmm
and what the different problems and, you know what I'm saying, of it is. I think that's the reactive. I know we
And that's
react.
right. And that's not
That's
even
what.
a salute. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
not
just a
even a solution. I'm
conversation.
just saying that's the reactive
Yeah.
part of it, talking about it, bringing
Uh-huh.
awareness and shit. Like I
Uh-huh.
would think.
Once
I
you
think
but you gotta
When you
have the
say
child before you
proactive,
become a mom. You feel me? So like you said, like you know what I'm saying? Like you being reactive to you already having it, which puts you in the single motherhood category if you're
But
single, you
I
right?
know?
do think if we're thinking about the future generations of women to come up, I think by telling them having a conversation, that's a little proactive to me. Like warning them against it and talking about the effects of it to those that aren't parents, I think that could be considered proactive.
Yeah, but
So if you do
who
that,
telling them
then
that though? Who is the
yeah,
one they gonna have on the panel talking to them? A single mother that's gonna be telling all the hardships. You know what I'm saying? So it's
and
a
I
proactive
never
reactive.
and
It's
I
a
never
reactive
not heard
proactive.
in history that people was told to be a single mother.
Mm,
Right.
got you. What's up, Matt? Yo, he killed me with that spoken word. That should be funny though. Ivan, what you think? The problem of single motherhood, is it proactive or reactive?
I said we proactive in conversating about it, coming up with ideas, but it ain't nobody being reactive when it comes time to actually apply the ideas or apply it to their reality.
Okay.
They'll think about it before time, but yet they ain't gonna act on nothing they talk about. So they're gonna do
Okay.
the opposite of what they say.
Damn. This is getting interesting. And y'all gotta pardon me. Yes, I'm using motherfucking let me see if I can go
What you
uh
using? What you using, motherfucking word, nigga?
Yeah, you should have did that. I had to put my
PowerPoint.
because I couldn't see.
Oh,
Uh,
PowerPoint ain't lit no more.
no, it ain't. I got like I started to use Prezi, bro. Like it's like four different ones that I could use, but I'm like, I needed to be able to edit this shit real time. So that's why I was like, let me just go with what I know and stop,
If you do that
Dang,
one
I ain't
more
know.
time, you
type
might be
shit.
good.
I ain't know
Say what?
PowerPoint was out the way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is old. This is archaic as fuck. What we putting black on black crime? Let's go
Pro.
with Ivan. We're going back the other way.
They reactive.
We are reactive to that. Why you say
Hell yeah.
that?
Yeah. Because nobody, if you think about it, nobody really teaching people how to be no more. So people are just reacting. When it comes to relationships, men getting mad because another man looking at his woman wrong, ain't even his wife, just a girl that they like wrong, and another dude already ready to go wild. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They crash
okay,
dummies out here, man.
that's real. Okay. Saudi, black on black crime. Is this reactive or proactive?
I feel like it's reactive. I feel like the shit is still out of control. So
Bino, are we proactive or reactive to how we deal with black on black crime?
I'm proactive to be prepared to know if I gotta. Not mine. Hey, look, reactive. We reactive. We definitely reactive. Like that's why I ain't really said because I know we was on our really. I know we was on our Panther Party movement shit with the KKK videos and shit.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of
That was a lot of
the
K's.
but at the end of the day, man, like bro, why we could do that? So I guess it's because we all did. But don't we feel like don't everybody feel like black on black crime is a problem?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So why the fuck we can't come together to mitigate that shit?
That's
Because
what
you
we're trying
said
to
it
figure
earlier,
out.
Bino. You said it earlier. We do shit our way. We do shit our way, and our way may not
But
be
the
the way
killing part
of the
ain't
way.
necessary. It's out of
Nah,
control
nah. That's our way
because
though.
no. I feel
When
like
it get
this. The Wild Wild West and just jungle way ain't our way. Like the community way, if you got to go, you got to go. But that shit got to go through some elders. Even in tribal shit, that shit got to go through elders, the wise men, and then hit the leader of the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like this Wild Wild
not when
West.
it's tribe on tribe though.
No,
When
but
it's
it don't
tribe
be
on
like that.
tribe, nigga, I'm
Yeah, it
taking
is.
your. I'm
Even
taking
But I
every.
feel like
I'm.
it'd be like nobody.
Yeah. Are y'all just gonna do that to me? All right, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Nah, I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying, y'all. No, I won't respond to what I'm saying.
Go
Ivan and then Saudi can go. 'Cause they better be fighting for me if they cut me off. They better be
I was
fighting for me.
fighting for you. I was fighting for you. I was
All right,
saying,
y'all go ahead then. Y'all go ahead then.
so I
Y'all go
was
ahead.
just one little bar is saying like, fuck, I don't. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying earlier. Ain't nobody checking with nobody. They just going off of their first little thought, off of
Right.
impulse, and just going like, don't nobody
That
give a
shit be some emotional ass, a lot of
me.
emotional ass killing, senseless
So
shit
that
going
goes
on
back
out
to
here, man. That shit don't be tribe on tribe, man.
mental health.
Motherfucker, yeah, that shit be senseless, man.
Yeah, but- yeah,
That's
you're
what
right.
that's what I was getting to earlier, man. When I was talking about men's and stuff. Like what men doing for girls they met just last week, they ain't even doing half of that stuff for their mother or their own sister. You see what I'm saying? That's like what a miscommunication there. It's like you misplaced what you supposed to be putting all that energy towards and what you supposed to be protecting.
Oh.
Like they'll crash out for somebody they just met last week. As long as they got the box, they're gonna crash out for
Mm, okay.
them. That's how they moving nowadays,
Yeah,
man. They
that's
feel like they
real.
married and everything, but then they'll leave their mother and sister out there on their own. Won't think nothing about them.
Okay.
So
Wardy.
like we don't take ownership in our what we supposed to take the ownership at first.
That's fair. That's real. That's real shit. I like it. Wardy, are we reactive or proactive in dealing with the problem of black on black crime?
Again, I think this is one that need to be in the middle, but I'm saying we definitely reactive because we always we like I seen a video right the other day, right? It was just like this girl was running down the street and you heard everybody, get him girl, shoot that motherfucker. Then she fired, pow, and shot the dude. He fell straight down. They was like, oh shit. Did she shoot? I heard somebody say, did she shoot him in the head? Then they start running and run, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you know what I'm saying? How can both of them things go like happen like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was like, shoot him, but then it was like when he shot him, I
Yeah.
guess he shot him in the head. Like he fell, how he fell, like you could tell he was out. Like, so it's like then everybody was like, oh, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. It's
Oh, you
weird.
talk.
So
Oh, I thought I seen that. I ain't see that. I seen one when a woman did that.
yeah, the
Shorty was.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was
Okay.
running
Yeah. I seen
behind
the
the dude
same
and pow,
joint.
pow.
Yeah.
Like,
I seen the same shit, bro.
yeah, so it's like the same, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's crazy. We boost the same thing that then when somebody get, you know what I'm saying, something happen like that, then we like, we need to
You going too
stop
far.
this, the violence and all that. But like, bro, I wish you could show that video, bro. It went so fast, bro. Like
I
from
was
her chasing him down the street to boom, he getting shot, then everybody whole mood switched up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
After
you
they
going
was
too
just
far.
saying shoot him.
Cause it
Like,
was a bunch of women, bro.
it was crazy, bro.
A bunch of women like saying that shit too. Like that's the thing with women running behind another woman saying shoot. And then you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, talk about like broad day running up the block. Like I'm saying, if that man did something, that's why I go back to what I was saying. What like if that man did something the way we did things for real, like that shit gotta go in order. Like you gotta go report that shit to a community leader. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, word, and he gonna hunt that shit accordingly. You feel what I'm saying? Because shit like that, nobody needs to be involved in shit like that if it gotta get like that, right? Because at the end of the day, it's 90 things is 95% mental. It's only 5% reason you gotta take somebody's life up out of here on a level like that for real in reality. Right? It's
right,
so many other avenues you can use that starts with the mind before you get to that point and that's who we really are. We had society, but we had fucking kingdoms. You feel what I'm saying?
right,
That shit won't want no that shit didn't take wild senseless acts to build the shit that was built that our ancestors built. That shit took organization and thoughts and smarts and all wisdom and all types
right.
of shit. You feel me? And
Mathematics, right,
if shit had to get ugly like that, it got handled accordingly. Where
right,
the rest of the community ain't even got to see no shit like that. You feel what I'm
right.
saying?
But they know what's up though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Facts.
CJ, what's up, brother?
hey
How's
CJ.
it going? How's it going? Audio good?
Yeah. Yeah, you good.
That's still clear.
What's up with you?
Shit, I'm here.
We respect it. We respect it. Thoughts and prayers type shit. We'll talk in the back
Yeah.
chat. So we're
Such
doing an
such
exercise here, man. And so now what we're doing is I got a list of some common problems we have in the black community, right, CJ? And right now we're trying to figure out when we're walking down a solution as black people, Are we reactive to this problem to get to a solution, or are we proactive in solving for this problem? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we talk about black on black crime, do you think as a whole we are reactive to solving this problem, or are we proactive in preventing the problem?
On black crime.
Yeah.
You asking, are we at solving it?
Yes.
Ain't nobody solving that shit.
So it can't stay in the middle. It's got to go either proactive or reactive.
I guess it would technically be reactive. They wait till somebody die, and then there's that one side that's like, stop the violence, stop the violence. But there's the other side that says, fuck that. We ride tonight. So
You know what?
yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be reactive. Because at the end of the day, even though there's somebody screaming, stop the violence, their voice ain't nowhere near as loud as that 30 rounds.
That's G shit. I'm gonna ask you real quickly just to get us caught up and make sure the numbers are even. Racial inequality. Are we proactive or reactive in solving that problem?
Racial inequality. KKK.
Yep.
I mean, we definitely gotta be reactive to that. We ain't gonna do shit if they don't do shit.
Got you. What about single motherhood? Are we reactive or proactive in trying to solve for this issue?
Single motherhood.
Yeah, I know that's a lot of nuances, and I'm cool. That's why I'm
I'm gonna
just trying to rattle them off
say
real quickly.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say proactive for that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Now we all caught up. I'm gonna start right back with you, CJ, and now we're going from the bottom back up to the top. Financial security. Are we proactive or reactive in trying to solve for that problem?
We reactive because most motherfuckers is still broke as shit. So
Mm,
people wait till they funds is low to want to try to do shit to really make money when they could have done that shit when they had money.
I like that. Good point. Woody, what we got? Are we proactive or reactive? Financial security. What are you on mute, brother?
We definitely reactive to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
Bino.
we listen to
My
financial
bad,
advice
brother.
like that.
Oh, good point. Bino, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to financial security? Bino, you with us?
Man, come on, man. Stop playing Strata, man. Broke ass niggas. Nah, but look, we definitely reactive, man. We broke. We actually doing pretty well though. To be reality as a whole. So I think we've been reactive for a lot of times, but I do think that's one of the things that I don't think we get enough credit for as a black community. Yeah, you got the people that's still into what they into. We're not saying everybody, but a lot of us have turned more proactive to financial security. I'm not going to put a light on the minority when there's so many of us that has transitioned into doing so much better than the last 34 years, even in some of the hardest financial times that we have been in the past 50, 60 years.
Okay, so is your answer proactive or reactive?
Proactive. I said proactive.
Proactive.
That's
Okay.
what I was about to say. Like, y'all can't neglect the fact that we really we got a lot of shit going on. Like a lot of black owned businesses. I feel like as far as being more financial illiterate, I feel like we already took the initiative. We making the money. We still got a lot of work to do as far as where to put the money and how to prosper more so as a community. But I feel like we definitely have been proactive.
Okay. Ivan, for the tiebreaker, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to financial security as a black people?
Man, I'm a financial coach. I want to say reactive.
Okay. Why you say reactive?
Because I seen people make over 100,000, man, 150, and still live check to check. Still talking about
Damn.
filing bankruptcy.
Damn.
I'm
Why do
But
you
telling
look
think
y'all.
that
though,
is?
you're a financial coach, so you only going to come across them. You're going to come
Yeah,
across the people that need that. So that's all you going that. So that projection is to me is going to be that because you're in that business where people need that shit. You know what I'm saying? But out of all
yeah, I
the
feel
people
you.
that you deal with, how many more people ain't never came to you and they doing fine?
ain't many, because even off statistics, you got to realize 74, 78% of Americans live in check to check. Even if you look at the overall picture of it.
Damn.
There's a lot of people
So
that I know need help, but they ain't gonna ask you.
okay.
People still want to do things. You know what I'm saying? People want to do things their way.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. I like it. We got the
Right,
top
because it
one.
ain't about how much money you make. I hear this six figure income, six figure
Yeah,
that, but what it ain't about that. It's about how much bread you keep after your
Yep.
bills and shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you
That's
make
it.
Right.
it six figures and your bills six figures, you ain't made shit. Like you know what
Now
I'm
that's a
saying? So
fact. But a lot of people don't make six figures, so that shit right there not even bad because a lot of us, the average person in general don't make six figures, you know. So it's like
yeah,
motherfuckers making on average 50,000 or something like that. So
yeah.
And I
and
think that,
with
sorry.
good.
No, I think I'm just still taking away like the people that we more so frequent rather as like a whole and what we're doing as a whole. Because if you look at it as a whole and like what the numbers and statistics say, we have definitely been proactive.
I'm saying, what's the number of people that have like a life insurance or you know what I'm saying, some type of insurance to make sure that their family members are financially what I'm saying stable once they go away.
See,
A
see
million
now that's
dollar
the next
insurance
step. So
policy,
that's
shit
the
like
next
that.
step.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
next step I think happens after financial security. I think we progressing in that, but I think we got a far ways to go before we have assets
But
to
think
leave
about it
behind.
though.
See,
In one death, you can kind of
Mhm.
secure that you know what I'm saying. Like you're gonna die, so you might as
Right,
well get you know what I'm saying. And then
right,
all right, I'm I'm
right,
I'm paying for my own shit. They ain't got to worry about that. All my bills will be taken out.
right.
When that bread released, all my shit. Then the bread gonna
Absolutely.
get released. I'm setting them up for financial freedom after I die. I'm still helping
Right.
my family, even from the other side. Like.
Right, right. Yeah, like I said, I just ain't want to discredit. Like, I don't feel like everybody's financial secure. Like, no, everybody not financially secure. A big percentage of people probably still are not financially secure. But are we proactive to changing that? I think so. That's all I'm saying. Are we
Yeah.
I think
proactive
we
to changing that?
reactive.
And
I
then
think it's a
also I
reactive
think
situation from seeing out like seeing, you know what I'm saying, where we came from and the situation we came from, and we don't want to go through that shit no more.
yeah. And I
So
think
I
we're
think that's reactive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
because
yeah, that could be.
outside of like
that's just my opinion.
outside of our little era, I feel like we're setting our children up more to be financial literate.
I do agree with that.
So I feel like even though like we're
Excuse me.
still figuring out and falling short sometimes, I feel like we're still preparing our children. And I feel like the Gen X or whatever they call Gen Zs, I feel like they're more financial aware than we are. So
Love, I like it. Let's get right to the next one. We're gonna start with Ivan and come back down. Pause. What necessary? Black family stability. Are we reactive or proactive to this problem?
black family stability. Uh,
Yep.
I say the same thing. Be proactive when it comes to conversation about it, but when it comes to reality, it's reactive.
Okay. In 2 sentences, tell me why.
We talking, but we ain't putting the action. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that. We talk
Okay.
about these things, but when it comes to people applying it to their lives, they're not doing it.
That's what I
Majority not
like it.
doing it.
Saudi. Are we reactive or proactive with black family stability?
I think it's like kind of in the middle because I feel like with our time, we're still trying to figure out how to keep the family structure. But I feel like once again we're preparing the next generation because we see that there's more, fathers in their son lives as far as like um the generation coming up. So I just feel like it's a both for me. I feel like
No. No, Saudi. No, Saudi. No.
I would say proactive.
Okay. Thank you. Bino, what we doing? Proactive, reactive.
Man, I don't know, man, because I'm gonna say proactive, but if Woody say reactive because what we used to, then it's reactive. So that's the point. So I don't know, man. Are we proactive? My initial response is gonna be yeah. Bro, are we proactive because we reacting to what already has been? Yeah. So I kind of feel sorry. But if you're making us choose and making us answer to something we technically don't even know we agree with what we're saying, I say proactive.
Okay.
Not
Water.
that we don't know what we agree with what we say.
Yeah, because you be putting us in these positions, Saudi, and then we gotta live with this shit for the rest of our life on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not that.
Hey man, we gotta definitely nail some stuff down. You heard me. Wardy, are we proactive or reactive about black family stability? You're Wardy.
Voting is making house something to eat. You gonna have to come back.
You're
You ain't hear the cabinet?
CJ. Oh, there you go.
My bad.
Are you good, brother? Are we proactive or reactive when it comes to black family stability?
Black family stability reactive.
Okay.
Definitely.
See? He was gone when I said my answer. See, that's why I had to make sure I cover myself before Woody answered. Let me see if he goes see what I think he gonna say.
Why
Give
you
us the reason.
I mean, the
In 1 or 2
stability of the
sentences.
family, I feel like it take, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a 2-person job, and I don't feel like, I mean, I feel like we're working towards it, but I feel like it's still, you know, a reactive response.
Okay.
See, that's that sad shit, nigga. That sad energy is real, nigga. Go back and watch what I said, Woody.
Oh, word. You said that?
Yeah.
No, we said you was gonna say that.
Here go these moon.
I said, yo, I want to say proactive because you know how Strata forces it to answers, right? So I said, I want to say proactive, but if I think about it, Woody gonna say reactive because we being proactive because we reacting to what already been done.
That's a fact.
And
Here go these moon and stars, ESPN niggas. Y'all got ESPN going on. ESPN. Nah, fuck with it. That's funny. All right, CJ, break the tie. What we doing with black family stability? Are we putting it in the proactive or the reactive category? How we
No,
dealing
that
with
shit reactive.
it? Tell me why.
Because most black families or most male and female black parents aren't going out their way to stay together and work things out to be that family. Literally everybody on this platform right now got kids and they're not with the original parents.
That's fair. That's
see,
fair.
But
this is where I love that conversation, right? Because then you asking me, not asking, but people are giving me the idea of what they think my family structure should look like, right? Which ideally it did work when both parties were together, the ones that were healthy, the ones that were basically in love, right? But when nobody talks about is these 2-parent households that be damaging
and
to the
toxic.
kids.
Yes.
Nobody talks about that and how it ended up being healthier when parents split and find their own way of doing the family structure and co-parenting very well together.
Right.
Nobody talks about that though, but whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say it's easy to just sit there, but when you got somebody actually looking at that and groping that energy and you know those behaviors, that's the conversation we don't talk about, like Bino said.
Mm-hmm.
And then also
That still would, I mean, I get what y'all saying, but it still would be reactive because that would still apply to the two people not bettering themselves for the relationship, getting out of that toxic or negative mindset that they had to begin with to cause those problems.
Before they even had the
that
kid.
work, they would have been better couples.
Yeah, before they even had the kid type
once they
shit.
became better couples, they would have been healthier people for those kids.
Right. Yeah. So it's still reactive, yeah.
It's still
because at the end of the
reactive.
day, if you you should have, if you would have had, you got to know. I guess you got to know for sure what's going on before you had a kid, so that way you ain't got to come across that situation, you know.
Yeah.
But I was just responding on staying together part. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So not being together because now for me it changes. That's being together and not having kids and making sure y'all who y'all are before y'all had a kid. But like the staying together part, I was just responding to because that'd be a tough conversation. I just hear because it's easy. It's an easy conversation to say y'all should have stayed together, but those tough conversations, I don't really hear the internet talking about too much. Like how it was seeing your daddy beat your mama for 20 years. How it was seeing
No,
your
yeah,
daddy
you got
come
a point
home.
there.
How it was seeing your dad come home. He's so stressed out. He decided to stay a family for you because he had kids by the mother. But every time he come home, he get drunk because he miserable as hell.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, nobody talks about that, and that shit happens more than people realize.
Oh,
See, so
interesting.
that stuff can sound bad, right? But at the same time, it also goes to how that child perceive it. So some kids gonna look at it and come out traumatized, and you also got that child, like I said, that man nature gonna come out of and say, you know, we want to do better. I'm gonna get my mom out of this situation. So some
Yeah,
stuff
but
is
you leaving it
balanced
up.
between the two.
You shouldn't leave it up to.
A
It's
child.
up to that child. You
Yeah.
should that shouldn't be the case. That's gonna be up to the child to see how they
That's
handle
gonna
it.
be
That's
reactive.
bullshit.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
another
yeah.
reactive
So
problem.
none of
You
it
know
should,
what
yeah.
I'm
So none of it should be. Like, it's not
And
saying
then
it's
if
right
you
for that
don't have
child.
those two active factors, you leave that child up to go to the wayside. Whereas why we had so much fucking toxicity and trauma with these men that we're dealing with now.
I like it. Okay. CJ, start bottom going back up. Pause. Hey, yo. Marriage. Are we proactive or reactive to solving the marriage problem?
Reactive like a motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why is that?
Most people already having sex and doing all the crazy shit. They ain't thinking about marriage. By the time a lot of black folks really start talking and thinking about marriage for real, and actually be serious about it, they in their 30s and 40s.
Okay.
I
Woody.
know way more white people that I went to school with or just knew that marriage was a conversation starter for them in their early 20s. That damn sure ain't the case for majority of black people I knew.
Okay. I like it. Woody. Proactive or reactive marriage. Why?
CJ made me think, like, you know what I'm saying? That was a good ass point about, just other races is just a conversation starter. And in our community is really not,
That
a
shit rare as
conversation
fuck.
starter. So it's, whew. um, I was gonna say proactive too, boy. Cook God.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna still say proactive, man, because I think we taking steps to you know what I'm saying, like wanting to be married more and wanting to, you know what I'm saying, be in the household and things of that nature. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna stick with proactive on this one.
All right, we're back in the middle with this one. Bino, which side is this going on? Proactive or reactive when it comes to marriage?
Reactive when it comes to marriage. Reactive when it comes to marriage. Reactive when it comes to marriage. Help me out.
All right,
Reactive.
so the problem is we need more people in the black community to get married. Do you think that are we solving this problem by being reactive to that, or are we proactively trying to solve for this issue? So are we, like to CJ's point, are we having these marriage conversations up front a little sooner to be proactive to solve for the fact we have a low marriage rate, or are we reacting to what's going on around us before we think about marriage?
I don't think we need to be thinking about no marriage right now the way our society move, man. That's why it's hard for me to answer, bro. I think marriage need to be put to the side for a little hot minute. I think our culture need to change before we even bring up the idea of marriage. If people need to get married as a whole, as in a general consensus to say people need to get married, I think that's dangerous, man. You see what we doing out here as a society and culture, men and women, and we promoting people to get married in this situation. I think that's so I guess we are reactive, man.
Okay. So now we're
And can I
going
say,
to
like, I feel the same way about like having kids right now too, bringing kids in this type of world, and they so innocent and pure and shit, and then they gonna lose their innocence in this world. Like, are you bringing the kid in this world? Are you doing them an injustice? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like us, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Strada.
Oh, okay. Got you. Saudi, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to marriage? You're muted.
I agree with everything that everybody said. I feel like I feel like this is crazy.
Hey, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and hold it to your
Damn, the
computer.
drug phone hot, ain't it?
Don't do that. I feel like it's I want to say reactive, but I feel like as to CJ point where like, you know, a lot of people don't know like they don't have that conversation up front. I feel like now that we're trying to be
Sorry.
proactive. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. Whoever it is, if they're texting, ask them this question that you're currently on, or call them back and get their opinion on the show that they know you're on.
I feel like to CJ point, I feel like we won't having that conversation because we didn't know. But I feel like now that we know, that is a conversation that we do have up front more so. And then as far as like, especially like, you know, the 20-year-olds that I've you know, interact with, I feel like they are having the conversations. I want to say proactive.
Okay. So now we are
Hey,
back
we
in the room.
proactive. I think we proactive when it comes to being careful. Nah. Did the marriage rates drop or did they got higher?
They're actually improving.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we proactive, huh?
Yeah, so that's why I said
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
feel
what
like
I was thinking about. I remember when we did a pod a couple pods ago. They was talking about how it's
It's going
improving,
down.
but the divorce rate is up
The
too.
divorce rate's
But
going down. Yeah.
divorce
So
rate going down and marriage rates going up.
yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, based on those numbers, we proactive. It ain't matter what I think, huh?
So I feel like just because like we know more, we are having those conversations to where like we're not really wasting a lot of idle time, and we see the urgency as to why we do need to get married.
Yeah. Go switch minds to proactive.
Okay. I got you. Ivan, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to marriage?
I said proactive as well.
Okay, why you say that?
Like I said, we always have conversations on relationships and all this kind of stuff, right? So people want better results, but like I said, no, but they don't want it to go the proper way. Like I said, the basic steps or the proper way of getting the results they want.
That boy Rusty.
Okay.
Rusty,
Now,
huh?
we talking about
You
what you mean I'm rusty?
with a PowerPoint
Oh yeah.
finesse.
Oh yeah. I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, I done clicked on the background, move that shit around. Fucking up.
It been a while. It been
Been
about
a while, G.
been about
Hey, yo,
50
you know what's
years.
crazy, bro? Prezi, Prezi, that shit is fire. I just didn't have time to
Yeah.
fuck around with the graphics, but I love presenting using Prezi. That's my shit. But Ivan, now dating and cooperation, are we proactive or reactive in solving for this problem?
And dating, yeah, they reactive in dating.
Okay.
That's all
Got
they
you.
do.
Okay. Saudi, proactive or reactive when it comes to dating?
I think we are proactive. I feel like, you know, we standing on our square. I feel like we seeing shit for what it is up front and choosing whether to deal with it or not, and then move around to try to find, you know, the person like Bino said that align with us.
Got you. Bino, proactive or reactive when it comes to dating?
Proactive or reactive when it comes to dating. Now let me stop. You know how motherfuckers just the PowerPoint just made
Hey, yo.
the PowerPoint made me feel like I'm back in class. You know, I got my little table I'm sitting on. It's like 80 to 10.
Nigga beating on the table with grinding,
Yeah.
freestyling and shit. Bino.
But you know, it's the proactive of it. But yeah, man, we reactive for sure, man. We go through all the bullshit and all the trials and tribulations, the hurt, the pains, and the fuck up, but we decided before we get right in the dating scene, man. So we definitely reactive when it comes to that.
Got you. Woody, are we proactive or reactive when it comes to dating?
I mean, from my last answer, if we get married more, then that means we obviously have to be dating with a more purpose. So I'm gonna say proactive.
Okay.
We
Like it.
dating with a purpose to get
Got some
married
logic
and
to
be
it.
together, you know what I'm saying, long term. So, I think the marriage shows that we are dating for a purpose.
I got a great counterpoint, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna just keep asking. CJ, I had a great counterpoint to that, but yeah, you're right. That logic definitely tracks. Are we proactive or reactive when it comes to dating?
Man, I'm probably gonna say reactive
Okay. Why so?
because a lot of dudes, nowadays, especially around my age, they struggle to see the real benefits of dating at the time, or they feel like it's too much a chore to be dating certain women. So it's like for them to go out and date, and it's like a chore. It's like a challenge that they feel like they shouldn't have to go out their way to be doing at the time. Too much energy.
It's a bar. That is a bar. All right, last one. Mental health. Holy shit. This background keeps moving. Y'all don't judge me, man. Judge your mama. What we doing with this one, CJ? Mental health. If we proactive or
Mental health,
reactive when it comes to solving for this problem?
man. That shit reactive as fuck. Like,
Okay.
ain't been but so many years that the black community been really actually trying to do therapy, and it's still a small group.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's definitely reactive. I don't even see how that would fit in the proactive if we just strictly talking about black folks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just
Woody.
go ahead and put me on proactive. I mean reactive.
Okay. Woody.
Oh, that's definitely reactive. I agree with CJ 100%. Boy, that to me that's like taboo to even talk about mental health stuff in the black
I
community.
swear to God, that's why I say I don't see how anybody in the black community specifically would even say that's proactive.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Bino, what we doing?
I'm gonna say proactive. Unfortunately, CJ. Um, um,
As soon as I finished that last statement, I said I feel like Bino's gonna go against me on purpose. Like some just said, just because Bino's gonna go against me on purpose.
Hey, but I'm gonna make sense of why I'm doing it on purpose though, because both can be true. You're right. Both can be true, right? Because these questions either way makes me like not be confident in my answer to be real, right? Because if it's some proactive, that's probably off a reaction. Because one already fucked me up with my answer, so I'm just going to just stick on this side. So now, I'm gonna say proactive because even though like CJ says a very minority, I think that's growth, and I think that's the start of being proactive. I think going sitting and talking to people are because like you said, it's absolutely wasn't taboo. Like CJ Water said, absolutely wasn't even a conversation, wasn't thought of, but it is a conversation now. It is thought of. It is plenty of people I know that go sit and talk to therapists. So though it is still a very very minority, I'm at least still go say proactive because it is it went from taboo to a minority.
I like that. Fight back. Fight
Growth,
back.
man. It's growth. Just a little growth. It been a little growth, man. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna go.
I respect that though, because I can't
Yeah.
see how that would be, but I think it's so small of a minority
Yeah,
then. But
that's
I do agree with you though that we at
Yeah.
least it go from taboo to so that is growth. So
yeah,
I feel
that's
that.
that's what I was about to say. Well, I feel like the number is still so small
Oh, okay.
that we're like a lot of us is still it still is so far fetched.
Right, but I can't weigh it off that it's still so small because like CJ said, it's really just been started talked about. Like you feel what I'm saying? So
But
it's small in the right time frame, I think, of when it actually even been like considered and then practiced in our communities as black people, you know? Like I can see if it's just been like a 10, 15 year thing we've been doing and it's still as small, the numbers are still small as it is, you know? But it's not like we ain't heard that shit till we was in our fucking 30s. We ain't in our 40s yet, y'all.
yeah, I feel
But
like
see,
it,
this is why I would label it as reactive because I think the only reason why we even hearing it or know that people are starting to do it is because for pretty much majority of our lives, it's been strongly taboo. While just now, like recently, I'm willing to go only as far as maybe 4 or 5 years, how it's been less taboo. So now, because it's less taboo, people are more like reactive to like, all right, well, since it's not, as a result, I'm now going to pursue getting checked mental health wise. And even then, it's really the younger groups that's doing it. It's not even people in our age group.
And I feel like there's still not a level of security with each other where we feel like we could actually come and speak on mental health, because it's still, I feel like we still so much feel like, oh, you just gotta take that shit on the chin, that we really don't hear people when they may come and express their mental health concerns.
Motherfuckers, that shit getting talked about so much, man. Motherfuckers weaponizing that shit. Motherfucker do some evil ass crazy shit. Oh, he just had mental problems. No, the bitch was evil. They had demons in him, nigga.
I wasn't even
That's it. No, I'm not responding to you. I'm not rebelling to you. I'm just saying in general. I'm just thinking like that shit getting talked about so much. People are already starting to weaponize the shit and say that just evil ass, downright evil ass motherfuckers is mentally ill.
Ivan, what you think? Is mental health proactive or reactive?
I say reactive as well.
Okay, gotcha. Like it.
I said
Now,
people talk about it, but they don't know how to. People don't know how to. They're not learning how to apply the exercises and stuff they learn to their reality. That's one thing to have knowledge about something, but it's another thing to actually apply the knowledge to your life to make it your
That's a
reality.
damn fact.
Y'all know how many young
So
black
it's a lot of
therapists
knowledge, but
that's our age and younger. It's a lot of black therapists that's successful like across the nation right now. Y'all know there's been way more black therapists than there ever been. And in order for that to be black therapists, they got to tell you what that somebody going to therapy.
Nah, yeah,
Yeah,
white people.
Nah, white people ain't going to no black person, no young black person though.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
you'll be surprised.
They don't care who
You'll
they
be
talk to,
surprised
long
how
somebody.
many.
They don't see. Damn, I don't think with their community, I don't think they care, bro. I think long as you got a degree and you kind and
Y'all
you know what I'm
speculating.
saying, like you know, like
Y'all
you can speak.
speculating.
You got that code switch. Oh yeah, you good.
Yeah, but yeah, what I'm trying to tell you, just like you think y'all say y'all be surprised how many more black people going to therapy, man. Telling you,
Yeah,
be
I believe
surprised.
more
Yeah,
black people are. That's why I'm saying it's not taboo. So we saying it is a small minority of people that's seeking therapy and actively trying to improve their mental health state. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
Yeah, but Ivan said he
if
don't
you
think they
go, I'm
practicing
talking
it.
about all right.
He
So the
say no.
problem,
I didn't.
but
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
my bad. But the problem, I feel like the problem where the most chaos is, the mental health is still taboo. Like where the most problem is in the hood. That's where they need the most fucking therapy and shit because so many problems going on, so many things they're dealing with, adversities and just traumatic, you know what I'm saying, brain injuries and PTSD out the ass that they going through. They the ones need it, but it's taboo there. And if they not gonna get it, then we still gonna have the killings, the shooting, the drug
Yeah,
addictions, the
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. Yeah, the
yeah,
people that's in middle class, you know what I'm saying, they probably is, you know what I'm saying, getting therapy because therapy costs money. Like you know what I'm saying, it's $100
right.
a hour type shit. So you know, like
Yeah, so naturally, there's gonna be way less of us that's going right because of that. Just like the other poor folk ain't going to it neither, right? But our traumas are our traumas, and though we feel like our traumas are more serious than it is, which I think they are, they got their own traumas they go through, and like you said, they be more well off, so they get to go to that shit. You feel what I'm saying? They get to go to that shit. So
what
you
group you
right.
speaking about?
No, just like white people and shit like that,
Oh,
Asians, whatever,
okay.
right? So like you
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
go to it. So that is true. Like I'm just saying, like I'm thinking about what you're saying as you're saying it, like that is true. But I think is that also another thing? Do you think that the reason why more black people going to therapy because they're becoming more successful? So is like therapy a privilege almost in America?
I wouldn't say it's a
I mean,
privilege, but I just feel like
Oh, it's
the
definitely a privilege.
shit. That's what I was about to
I
say.
mean, it's a privilege, but it's a privilege, but like, I feel like it's just when you want better, you do better. So I feel like the more that you try to elevate, you have no choice but to evaluate and want to do better. So that's just like I don't want to say a precaution, but that's just something like you just
You
that.
investing in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to like like
Yeah,
underprivileged.
yeah. But are you saying like so? What are you saying though? Are you saying like okay? So what you saying when you say you elevated growth? What you saying though?
Like, I
I'm
feel
I'm
like
just trying to follow you.
in these situations, like in the hood, it's so much of a crab on a bucket mentality that it's hard for them sometimes to like not want to do better, but like actually process the shit in real time to put that shit in order to you be like, all right, I got to do this like X, Y, and Z to get out of here. I feel like sometimes like I think it's a mindset thing, you know? So I feel
Mental
like,
health is a mindset thing for sure. It's mental health.
yeah, I may not be putting it in. I can't. I'm trying to.
No, I was just saying like yeah. I agree with you saying, but
I'm
that's what
trying
I'm
to
saying. Like
process
so,
it so you can understand what I'm saying, though.
I
But like,
do understand. But what I'm saying, he was like, nah, you don't think therapy is a privilege. I'm like, it got to be a privilege if only a certain amount of people
it's
can
a
even.
privilege, but I feel like it's not a privilege either because I feel like if you qualify for food stamps or Medicaid, you qualify for a therapist.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it's like I can't say it's a
Oh,
privilege
okay,
because
okay.
yeah, that's why I said like I can't say it's a privilege unless like you're homeless.
So if
Like
you apply for food stamps, which is only really like a
yeah,
small
like if you
percentage
could
of
get Medicaid,
people that can even get that shit.
yeah, if you could get Medicaid, you could get a therapist.
You
So like
mean
it
you
may
can't? You
a
mean
little
like they allow you one, or like you
yes,
like?
you have like you get like they give you like when I was in North Carolina, I forgot what it was. It was like, I don't know what it is, but it's wellness care or well care or something. So it's like you get lists of doctors just like if you was working and you get your benefits. It's the same. So it's like you can get the therapist, but do you know like or do you have the urge to? That's my thing.
Damn, so that created a new problem for me then. If you had, I thought the access wasn't there. Like it's
No,
Yeah, right.
$100 an hour, and niggas like,
no,
man,
just
I,
like
I
you
want to
get
do it, but I can't afford. But
Can
that
you take
shit
your
right
kids
there
there
is
too and shit?
ridiculous.
kids automatically.
Damn.
That's a
It's
different
like
problem. Like,
yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's why I say it's a privilege because it's like, no, this
Nah, I mean it's still a privilege for most. That's because most people don't even qualify to get food stamps, so it's still a privilege. But I see what you're saying. Like
yeah.
at the same time, the motherfuckers that's on
But
government assistance get it is included. So
I
yeah,
still say
but
it's
that's
a
the small
privilege.
people. Yeah.
I still say it's a privilege because even if you don't qualify, like when I didn't qualify for Medicaid and I had to get my own insurance, you could go, it's called, I know black people call it Obamacare, but for like the other side, it's called like something gov, like you could get medical insurance for like I think I was paying insurance for like $5, $10 because it was based off of my income. So like when y'all say it's hard to get like it's not that hard. You just have to find it.
Yeah, but Saudi people don't get. A lot of us don't get none of that. What you talking about? Like a lot of us don't get based on your income shit. A lot of us don't get, especially men, food stamps and shit. You feel me?
But I'm
Like
telling
so,
you,
it's a privilege for mostly men then,
not
because like
even because this like I said, this was outside of any social services. This was based off of my 9 to 5. This was based on my gross income that I was getting every month. Where okay, it may be $5 a month, but for someone who makes like 6 figures, it could be $100 a month. But that's the urge, the will to put some of your basic necessities or even whatever you used to do aside to be like, I'm gonna pay this monthly premium to get my insurance. That's all I'm saying. Because go without insurance is crazy to me anyway.
Interesting. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the SPS podcast and the Raw Bunch. Now, we're going to do my favorite part of the show. And this is anybody can answer. We're going to do this shit popcorn style. Now that we have the problems divided into either being proactive or reactive, give me your thoughts on what y'all think about how it all lines up. Anybody.
Can you repeat the question?
What do you think about what we just did?
Oh. Um,
What do you gather from what we just did? Based on we looking at the list now.
we still got a lot of work to do. I don't know.
That's
It
one way to look
seemed
at it.
like that like we getting better at gathering our women back. Like we gathering our women back to, you know what I'm saying, be with them, but we still not dealing with the self part of it. That's what it looked like to me. Like we in relationships, we together, but we not dealing with some of these things before, you know what I'm saying, we dive into these situations and shit.
I like that. Huh.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I feel like we still trying to find a balance as to like we know how to um fight the solution separately, but like to put it all together so that it comes seamless. I feel like we're still trying to figure that out.
I feel like my point was proven, my premise was proven in the beginning that though it looks like we at war and that we destroying each other, we actually are doing better because if we can get 5 proactives to single motherhood and 4 proactives to marriage, it's kind of like leaning towards like how Woody was saying, like so. Like the loud ass motherfuckers, bro. It's like they loud, so of course you hear them the most. But in reality, based on us, and what we say on this shit based on the questions, obviously we doing something better than what it seems, relationship wise. We gotta get our money right still. We gotta stop knocking each other across the head for nothing. Um Dating,
Yeah.
the way we date has to change. Cause to Woody, what Woody had said earlier is the reason why I can still put dating is reactive because once you go like because I said we was reactive because we go through all the trials and tribulations to hurt and to fuck us right before we get it right. So by the time you get it right, you do get married, right? But you had to that was a reaction. You know what I'm saying? You getting married, you fucked up a lot before you got married for a lot of people. Motherfuckers
Yeah,
ain't get
that's
married. So that's why so I say we still got to change the way we date so we don't have as many mishaps before we do get married. Um and shit like that. Yeah.
But do you think? I mean, I'm saying if you gonna like think about it, right? If you gonna marry your person that you gonna go for, I mean, be with for the rest of your life, don't you think it's necessary to properly vet? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, but I
Different
don't think
type
that
of
means
people.
we had. Yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing. I think we should properly vet, but I don't think properly vet means having to go through a whole bunch of shit to figure it out.
You
I
don't.
feel like I already have a foundation and a purpose and a set of things that is deemed as successful that we're able to get you successful results. And you shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have had to do that because we didn't know no better. But we know better. You realize that it shouldn't have to take me kids out of wedlock. It shouldn't have had to take me broken relationships for me to get to that point. I could have properly went before if everything we talked about, dad and mom, all the shit we talked about prior to this last part, if that shit was in place, then that would have helped us properly vet way better, with way less mistakes. It definitely probably wouldn't have as many kids out of wet. You know what I'm saying? Single mothers, shit like that. So I
See,
don't,
I understand
I
that
think we
part,
was
but
left to properly vet the way we had to.
Yeah.
mm,
I
That's
think it was a properly vetting process for us in our era, without the '80s babies and what how it looked for us as '90s kids and
right.
2000 teenagers, right? We did what we thought we had to do to get to where to the sense of understanding that we have today.
Right.
But
mm.
you feel me? So I think we properly vetted for us, but I don't think that's the proper way to go in
Right.
general.
I feel like now, like we're just like to be no point. I feel like we're standing on our square more. To like he said, like once we identify certain like non-negotiables, we know how to maneuver without all the bullshit already. You know, so
I think based on the list we compiled, I think we are fucking this up. I think there's way too many things we are reacting to, which is causing more hiccups later in the road. Like I think that based on how we got here in terms of slavery, displacement of our people, all of that shit, right? Like I think that plays a part as to why we're so reactive. But I don't know if we improve by leaps and bounds until we're able to take some of these reactive problems and become proactive in our way of attacking them. So I don't think that we're in a terrible place, but I can't wait until the time to where it's not 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't wait for the fact to where we're looking at 6 things we're proactively doing right, or 5 things we're proactively doing right, and there's one thing that we're reacting to. Because the and I understand that this was difficult for y'all to do because a lot of things you're like, okay, there's nuance to everything, right? But I want to draw this hard line just so that we can see how we look at our problems as a black community. Are we overall reactive to the shit that happened to us? Or are we proactive in solving for it, right? And I think that in a reactive mind state, you can always be easily controlled and triggered. Show me how to control somebody, tell me what they react to. Very easy to trigger if I know what you react to, right? And so I think that we are becoming aware as a black community, but I would like to see this list a little more proactive. That's my thoughts on the
Hey,
exercise.
hey, Strata, but before
Mm-hmm.
you take it down though, right? Can you
Mm-hmm.
give us some proactive responses to our reactive list?
Sure, that'd be great. All right, let's start at the top. Racial inequality. I think that the fastest way to become proactive in that is to become more vocal and more. We have to be. What's the word I'm looking for? We have to be unapologetically black all the time. We have to know how to tell motherfuckers this ain't for you, right? Black people have this accepting nature amongst ourselves, and we allow anybody for any motherfucking reason to come to the cookout. We got to cut that shit the fuck out. At some point, we have to turn inward to become more proactive about ourselves, right? I think that we get it when we're all together, but I think that our inclusive nature makes it difficult for us to do anything other than react to what happens to us on the inequality side. So if we were proactive and stand amongst ourselves to ourselves, people would notice that unity and leave us the fuck alone. Because you
So
know
are you
you ain't just
saying we
dealing with
should?
one.
Oh, my bad. Are you
Mhm.
saying we should stay segregated?
We should be. Now that would be extreme. I do think that going back to a segregated way
Well,
uh,
I said
would
earlier.
cause you to kind of expose those subtle racist people, right? So I'm not totally against it, but I think that whether we do a physical segregation or an actual, segregating ourselves to go inward, regardless, I think that it would make the racial inequality that much easier to overcome because now you ain't dealing with just CJ at his job at his high position or Bino or Wardy or Saudi or Ivan. Now you're dealing with us as a collective, right? You can't just isolate us out and try to say, well, you're not like them. No, we all the same. Fuck you talking about. And watch your mouth.
Hey,
But
can I?
oh, go ahead, Mino.
Now, I just want to respond to the segregation, desegregation thing. I really believe that when we desegregated and joined together, bro, we lasted longer. I don't, a lot more of us didn't die and get raped and killed, and our shit
Yep.
ain't get burnt down when
Yep.
we actually went with them. We lasted longer. If we would have stayed desegregated, bro, we would have been all dead by now, or
If
either
we did, come on, me.
not all dead. That's a stream, but y'all know what I'm saying, bro. We would have took way more shit. Like think about it. We desegregate. We with them, and they still do fuck shit to us and get away with it. Think about the shit they would have got away with if we would have stayed segregated. Anytime they want to wake up and do some shit, they just could have. You feel what I'm saying? We wouldn't be able to have no type of rights laws that they had that would have protected us in those situations. You feel what I'm saying? So
But I
But we would
think
have had our own
so
government. We
even
would have created our own government at that point.
I
Yeah.
mean,
exactly.
I mean, I mean, I mean, you would like to think that, but when we tried that, we seen what they did, right? So, like, that's what I'm saying. I think it would have been. It's almost like a Trojan horse type of thing. I think we lost the idea once they killed the reason why. Once they killed the people that had the idea for us to desegregate. Once they got the genius behind the people that seen the the pro in us desegregating, once they got rid of them, we lost the purpose, and that's why we so inclusive now. We didn't desegregate to be inclusive. We desegregated to try to aim for fairness, like they had. We could have still had governing our own selves. We could have still had our own small governments in our small towns. You feel what I'm saying? With with the desegregation. It's just that they killed the idea off because they killed the people who had the idea, the political activists off. They smoked them niggas. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, for the most part. So I think once then we lost sight of why we even get, what I'm saying? Why we even became the Trojan horse. You know what I'm saying? We became the Trojan horse and got out the fucking horse and start partying with them instead of getting out the horse like in the real thing and sniped all them niggas. And not
Right.
talking about really kill, but I'm talking about mentally. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's just my perspective,
Yeah,
though.
that's the
I
ironic
agree.
part is that we fought for the same rights to then voluntarily care about their validation, which is what we
Right.
fucked up.
Right.
That's why I feel like that's what I feel like the segregate. I mean, the desegregation was for to get validated by, and I don't feel like it was for like I do. A matter of fact, I do feel like it was like I mean, we was kind of well, they was at war with us, and we kind of won at war with them, but we had to fight back. So it's like it ended by desegregating. It ended. It kind of ended the war. Like you know what I'm saying. Kind of put it at a
Right,
stalemate type of thing. Like you know what I'm saying. So I
right,
do
right.
feel that, but yeah, man, like
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
that was that was like kind of the point that I was trying to make earlier when I initially
it's
had brought
like
it
But the thing is, we didn't harness any power with our equality that we got. And so all they did was it took their subtle racism and they found ways to just do that shit behind our backs.
up. Right.
It became more
Yeah,
systemic because it
that's what I'm
wasn't
saying.
as
Socially,
overt as
socially, we fucked that up
segregation.
for sure. Well,
Yeah.
socially, we didn't fuck it up, but systematically, they just had more power than we had socially,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all that was, bro.
Right.
Straight up.
We're going to black on black crime to be proactive about that. I think that there has to be a different level of accountability on how we show up to each other and with each other in the world. I think that fathers coming back into the home at mass and bringing back the idea that an ass whipping won't kill you, they'll probably make you a little better. I think that we have become so afraid of physical confrontation with each other that everything is thought of in extreme. I think that one thing about black on black crime that is true is crime is done in the proximity of the people you are around. So I don't even know if this is a proactive thing we have to solve for. I think that this is something that gets fixed uh, based on how we view each other in proximity to each other. So I think that once we start looking at each other more as family, as that whole neighborhood thing, yeah, you're gonna have people that don't fuck with each other, don't like each other, but it'll never rise to the point to where the police needs to get involved. Goes back to my point A. The fact that we separate, y'all ain't like us, y'all don't fuck with us, that's cool. We're gonna govern ourselves. A lot of the black on black crime that is reported that gets to the level of where it's deadly would cease to exist because now you have to answer to those that look like you and are responsible for you, and it brings a halt to what we see as black on black crime and mass. Financial security, again, I can do this all day, Woody, if you want. Just tell me when you want me to stop.
shit.
Um,
Well, on financial security, shit, do it from all of them. Just you know what I'm saying.
okay.
Give us one for everyone.
Got you. Financial security, ways to be more proactive. We have to start competing with that. We have to stop being selfish. That's the first way to be proactive about financial security and become a lot more proponents for the generations behind yourself. That is living wills, trusts, health insurance, stocks, bonds, investments, and we have to champion delayed gratification, black family stability. The way you be proactive with that, believe it or not, goes almost what we're talking about with single motherhood. That shit ain't for everybody. Stop trying to make it for everybody.
Mm.
Use protection. If you know this shit ain't your bag, stay the fuck away from it. Right? Wait until you're ready to actually do it. But you proactively stop it by stopping those from engaging in the acts that will make children and make them more responsible for knowing they're not ready to do so. Dating and cooperation. I think that motherfuckers need to touch grass. That's how you get proactive with dating and cooperation. You gotta touch grass, exercise those social skills a whole lot more than we have been doing. Again, saying it ain't working ain't enough. It ain't cutting it. Complaining about the other side is not getting you no more results any faster than they already are. Also, knowing what you're in the dating market for matters. Everybody's not dating for the same purposes. Matching up with the people that are in your fucking lane matters. If you're dating because you just want to have great sex, Find somebody else that is on the same wave. If you're dating for marriage, let that be known on date number one. If you're dating because you just want your forever person and you want to use these words like partner and the shit that shines and sounds good and glitters when you fart, then find people that love to be partners too. But while you're dating, let your intention be known to the person you're dating and make sure that you all are aligned in the way you are thinking. Mental health, I think that y'all made some great points on why it's reactive. I think that the way to be proactive is by becoming emotionally intelligent and aware of the nuances of the things we've ignored so long as Black people. For so long, things like abandonment issues, um, authoritative issues, so many of the disorders that we find in DSM. I'm not saying all of them are valid, but I am saying that just being proactive on knowing what it is and when to call it out matters. So if you know what boundary setting is and what it looks like when somebody breaks it, you become proactive in how people move around you. Because I can identify how you fucking up and I can articulate it to you. Now I have the knowledge that's going to arm me to keep me away from repeating mental health issues or becoming a victim of somebody else because I lack the words to understand and articulate my emotional intelligence.
Very good, sir.
Nigga said very good, sir.
Hey, Strata, what the statistics are like over there where they had the black people at patrolling the streets for the KKK?
It
Like,
was three.
what the crime rate look like over there?
Oh, that's a good question. I know it was three. It was a population of 3,000 black people. I need to look up what an actual town was in Ohio. That's a good question, bro. Ohio. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look it up.
That make a lot of sense though. Like just looking at this list, man, we do got some things that we need to work on internally. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We still got love though. Like that's what I see in this list. We still got love, like for you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
But we
what I was
fucked up, like, you know what I'm saying? When Strata was talking about the mental health thing, like the abandonment issues, I can feel in my DNA just like somebody being ripped from me. Even when he said that, like it's just like it's programmed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really
Mm-hmm.
think I have a reason to have no, like, you know what I'm saying, no abandonment issues, but it's just like I can
you
feel
can
it.
feel
Like when
it.
you say
Yeah.
that shit, like, and when you say like, you know, like, well, I don't know what else you said, but I can feel that too as being like just a part of like the negativity of my DNA. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to what Bino had said earlier too, with like some of the childhood traumas that we experience, like seeing your mom getting beat on or like whatever the case is, or like sexual abuse. That's a lot of the childhood traumas that people don't sit there with and talk about.
Facts.
Mm.
Like, what
Uh,
ways will y'all go about asking your Go ahead, Strata.
oh, my bad. I was just giving you clarity real quick. So in Jefferson, Ohio, the crime is 1 in 64, meaning Jefferson, Ohio has a crime rate that is higher than 80% of the state's cities and towns of all sizes. The average violent crime rate in Jefferson is 8.8, which is significantly lower than a national average of 22.7. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Jefferson is 1 in 64. So
So
it's
that
relatively low.
yeah, okay. So that makes sense though, because
Okay.
Shit, it's 1 in 8 in High Point.
1 in
Yeah.
64 is only 3,000 people in that town, though, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So do the math. You bound to get touched over that bitch if you go.
Yeah.
The
That's
numbers is low because the population is low, right?
I don't know because when you do it in the sense of proportion, um, I don't
Is
know if
1 in
I can make
64
the.
not high if you only got 3,000 people there?
Mm,
What's the math on that one more
No,
time?
like
in
forty
the way
six
it's not.
percent.
Yeah, I feel like it's not high.
You said how
It's
much
like
percent?
46. It is about 46%, 47%.
That's high. Shit. Nigga, that's damn near one out of that's damn near shit can happen to you.
That damn
If it
near
don't
flip
happen
of
to
a
you Monday,
coin.
it might can happen to you Tuesday.
Right, that
But
damn near
but
flip of a coin, Bino. You feel
but
me?
this but
Wonderful
this
day
is
to
the
get
but
over.
the reason why that's misleading though, Bino, is because crime isn't 1 to 1.
I know, but 40% chance out of 3,000 people is high.
But if you add that it's not 1-on-1, then it's not there.
Right.
I'm saying,
Exactly.
I'm not saying what. I'm not right. I was
but
making a
what if it
joke.
was a
Forgot the
50%
1-on-1.
chance? That means
46% chance out of 3,000 people.
That's high
right.
as shit. Yeah.
Oh, you gonna get touched in Jefferson now?
But
Nah,
how?
but that
But
goes to
y'all
show.
okay? So make this make sense though. How is it that the average violent crime rate, like violent crimes in Jefferson, is 8.8, which is significantly lower than a national average of 22%?
Because the
Because you
national
got
average
places
probably
like
got way more
Chicago
than
and New
3,000
York and
people in
all
a
these big
town.
ass
We
places,
got
North Carolina.
10,000.
Who got
But
10,000?
y'all ain't
We don't got
understand. Like
10,000.
I
no,
don't know.
I don't know.
No,
But
What?
I don't
hold
think
on,
so.
like y'all don't understand how.
No,
So
I
y'all think
understand it.
yeah,
No,
because
you
it's like
don't. No, you don't.
it's
Yes,
proportional.
I do, Vito.
It's proportional. So it's almost like y'all are trying to make a proportion out of an already fractionated stat. So, for
Nah,
example, if the
nah, me and
average
Ivy
crime
was
rate,
about to eat Jefferson ass up. You just making sure we don't eat their
Like,
ass up. Cause we about to eat
Hey,
their
look
ass
though,
up.
Strata, think about
We
it.
about to eat their ass up.
nope.
This is how
If
I
you
get it.
walking through
I
a
feel
line,
like,
oh, go
oh
ahead, Saudi.
no, I was about to say this is how I see it. I see like as for a whole, they understand this is our community. We're not going to touch nothing in our community, so that's why it's not that much. That's why it's lower, and they go outside the community if they go and start something.
Girl, hey,
And
Ivan,
and
we
then
got
look,
17. We got damn near 17,000 people, Ivan.
And
We
where?
got what?
In Berkeley
We
County?
16,922 as of 2023.
All right. So, just to give you a better scope,
I'm gonna see. Watch this. Now watch this. One out of this and Brayton. Now watch this.
right,
Don't write him, Woldy.
you getting touched.
I ain't think we had 10,000.
but it's the thing though, like their
Hey,
annual
look though, if
crimes.
you run through if you make a line of 3,000 people and you got a 47% chance of getting hit by one of them motherfuckers, boy,
Thank you.
boy, that's tight
That
there,
shit
boy.
real, bro.
But y'all looking at it wrong.
Yeah, I started to say
How?
the
So
number
what's
has
that for
already
us,
been accounted
Fino?
for in the fact that it's a statistic. It's a
I'm about to
piece
tell you.
versus the whole.
The whole what? Everybody in Jefferson, right?
No, 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 no. It's comparing apples to apples, meaning
No, like the, the,
they've
the,
taken
the
into
average
account that
area.
it's a smaller
Percentage.
denominator. That's how
Yeah.
statistics work. They've taken into account the denominator and they put it up against the numerator, and that's the same thing that happens on a national level. So that's how you get it apples to apples, which is why you can't say, "Oh, well, that's only low because it ain't that many of them." No, that's taken
All right,
into account when
all right.
you
Look, what you
you see
say
what I'm
the
saying?
national level was for the first number for the
Yeah, I was
average
looking that up
crime?
now. Let me
Oh,
look
my
it
bad.
back up. No, you good, bro. You good. That's actually
I,
on cue. So the national average for violent crimes is 22.7. In
no, I'm talking
Jefferson,
about regular crime. The first one, the first stat you said.
oh, the crime rate is higher
Yeah.
than 80% of the state cities and towns of all sizes. So it's 1 in 64. But when we talking about
So they not fucking hurting each other, but you got drugs, you got fucking stealing, you got
yeah,
fucking
more
all that type
property
of shit going
crimes.
on.
More property
Okay,
crimes.
and so 1 in 64 is property crimes or the violent crime.
The chance of being a victim of either one of them is 1 in
Okay,
64.
in Bertie County, the chance of being a victim of a violent crime is 1 in 70.
That's what I'm saying. You get
Right.
touched.
But you
But
gotta realize we in a wooded area. They in the city probably.
but
Jefferson,
I'll give
Ohio
them
ain't no
that
damn
though,
city. That's
Ivan.
just 3,000 people, Ivan. That's
Hey, and
3,000 people.
they ain't nothing but lane.
Man, that shit is Korean, basically, man.
That's funny.
Not boring.
3,000 people, that's Windsor. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, and our whole county is 1 in 70. That's Jefferson, 1 in 64, in the town, not the county. The town. This is our whole county is 1 in 70.
CJ, help me.
Nah, but
CJ,
another thing I
help
about to
me.
say, right? Another thing I about to say, you see how they patrolling when the KKK come in? Like that's how it's supposed to be, regardless whether they there or not. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just like us in
Right.
DC.
But
We
what's
know
the
That's how
shit
I was
that's
about to
difference
going
get in
on.
though?
their ass too. I was going to get in their ass earlier. I was going to get in that situation earlier, but I forgot to ask them. So I'm glad you asked because I was about to ask them, like, yo, pull up their crime and shit. Cause I want to see if them niggas act civilized without the fucking KKK, or do
Right.
them bitches be smoking each other
See,
on Tuesday? And, oh, Friday the KKK here. Let's be Black Panthers, nigga. Fuck out of here.
See that? Hey, look, that's a good ass point too, cause that make that's the whole premise of the show from the beginning. It said, "Dude, is did he say something about what if the enemy is in the mirror or something?" Strata
Oh yeah, we
on the
getting
flyer.
there. We getting there. But check
Oh,
this
okay,
though.
okay, all right.
You know what's crazy? With Jefferson violent crimes, when we're talking about deletion, the reported total deletions as of last year was 0. The total
we got one, and we average one annually.
right. The average grape was 5, which when you do it per 1,000 people is only 1.57%. Not only, but it is 1.57. I'm not trying to minimize that. There were only 2 assaults.
So
You
where
muted,
are these
CJ.
numbers, these high ass numbers coming from then?
Because we're including property and violent together.
Yeah, like thieving
So
all
you
that
mean to
shit.
tell me, motherfucker, breaking in folks' house and they ain't? That's good. You breaking in my shit and I ain't smoking your ass behind you breaking in my shit. That's good. They doing good then.
Right.
And
That's what I said.
that's in the town.
Right.
Man, they ain't doing shit then.
Exactly. That's why I was trying to get them to understand. Like they're not that bad. When you compare them to what the hell is really going on out here,
How many like murders last year for them?
none.
Oh no, they ain't doing shit. Nigga, how
Nah,
many
that's what we
murders we had
saying
in
though,
Atlanta
because
last year? 5?
Yeah.
they had black men patrolling the streets, right? Because the KKK in town. So that's why I was asking that. Like, is this something constantly they do? Because for to be able to rally guys like that and do a demonstration like that, it got to be something that's normal. At least they practice like a
Yeah.
group going out to
I want to
maintain
know
themselves for
when did that
security level.
start, or like how long they've been doing that security shit.
I think that's just happened recently, CJ. Like this story, like might have broke a week and a half ago, maybe something
So
like that.
like before they was doing the security shit,
Uh-huh.
they still had like a little to no really crime rate going on. It was just some
Yeah.
racist shit kicked in, so now they want to be
Right.
having security.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they
Nah,
were
but
still having like, city hall,
yeah,
like
doing it
city
anyway.
meetings, and they were still coming together. So once the shit popped off, that's why everybody was just on go. Because
Damn, bro.
this is something that I feel like they practice and they talk about on a daily.
Bro, what the fuck, bro? Motherfucker, they got these crime grades up here, right? A plus is dark green. Areas are the safety. F is red. They got the whole Bertie County in red and orange.
Yeah, because the YNs slide now.
Yeah, so
F is red is a F, orange is a D minus. Damn.
basically when I come back home, I
Y'all
got
ain't
to
y'all
touch
ain't
my
raising y'all kids worth nothing.
My kids ain't in Bertie County. Shit.
What?
this is crazy. I gotta
That is too funny.
That is crazy.
I think I might have found on D. Let me see if I can share it. I think I found it, brother. This what you're looking at?
Yeah.
This is wicked. So, dark green areas are the safest in Bertie County. Red is don't
That's
go there.
crazy.
Berkeley is not a safe place. This is insanity.
It is a safe place if you from there.
Yeah.
At least supposed to be a green in my spot.
This is
Where the
wicked.
green at? Y'all see some green in there? That shit must
I
be.
don't know what the hell he talking about.
Oh, right.
What's that? Where that at? Where that green at?
Damn near Edenton. Damn near Edenton. Damn Black Rock or some shit.
What is that,
That's got to
Strada?
be Edith because by the water, Elizabeth
Yeah.
City.
It's damn Black Rock. You know what I'm saying? That's where all the
Shit,
white folk
I
got
ain't
their
seen
mansions
no
at.
damn.
That's why all the rich white folk from Bertie go to the Black Rock and go stay there in the mansions.
I swear to God, you ain't lying.
But it
See,
ain't
they
safe
by the
out
water, so that they get hydrated. They ain't got to be crazy like that.
here. It ain't safe out here, bro.
Nope.
That's wicked. Yo, look at this shit.
That's crazy, but I'm not surprised by that.
In
What is?
2025, crime will cost you $2,000 per household. We lose $20 million for crime, bro. Yo, this
Don't go to
internet
Berkeley
is
County if you
nasty
ain't
work.
got to. I'm trying to tell you.
I be
Gotta
telling
stop.
people that they be talking about I want to visit your hometown. You ain't from there, so why would you go there?
They must be calling the child support cases crimes too.
Are
I be
y'all
telling
reading
niggas like,
this
nigga, I'm
shit?
talking to you about my town without being in my town.
Man, you
Why
must
do you
never
think I
been
would
to
go
the
there?
damn courthouse, dog. How many people been there every damn time? Is a court like, man, shit. It's crimes going
That
on.
shit say it. We got
Yeah.
a F, nigga.
Yeah.
It's definitely crimes going on.
Ranks in the 6th percentile for safety, meaning it is safer than 6% of counties, but less safe than 94% of the counties in America.
Shit. That must be like whatever Durham County, like, Mecklenburg County, motherfucking Guilford County, and whatever Fayetteville is.
This is nasty.
We right there behind them. You feel me?
Cumberland County. Look, it's
Yeah,
right there. It's number
Cumberland
2.
County.
Cumberland County is Fayetteville.
This is
Shit, we
nasty, bro.
beating it. We beating Cumberland County.
I told y'all that. We had a pod before when I said that Bertie is higher than Fayetteville. I basically just went
Oh,
to
Yeah,
that
one
because
less dangerous place.
nuts, dog.
they do 1,000 per capita. So with our numbers being so low as far as population compared to Cumberland County, that shit don't make sense for us to be close
Do
enough. You know
y'all
what I'm
hold
saying?
on? Are y'all looking at this though? Look at how much crime is costing us.
Kidnapping.
Yeah, I know. Let me shut up. Allegedly.
Yeah, they had them guys in the van snatching people up.
Oh,
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
type
that's
shit.
right.
Let me shut up.
Yeah.
Well, I tell niggas, if you ain't from Bertie, don't go there. What the fuck you going there for?
That
Damn.
Yeah.
shit all right, man. That shit safe, man. Yeah, all right.
We ain't got no tourist site for motherfuckers.
And
we
we
got the
really
little
don't.
beach.
Well, we
Stop
got
playing.
woods.
Don't do that.
We got
Don't ever
Don't
invite
don't convince
nobody. Don't
nobody
ever
that
bring your
go to
cousins
Bertie
down
to the
there and
beach.
go to that
No.
beach. Don't ever bring your cousins. Nah, go to the beach, y'all. We need more money. Go to the beach, everybody.
Yeah, this is wicked.
That's crazy
Our
work. Tell niggas
murder
to
rate
go to the
low
beach so
though.
they get snatched the fuck up.
This is crazy.
Why you tell me to go to the beach? Because my cousin had to pay rent this month.
Yeah.
because I had to wait. This is
You'll
it.
get
That's
whooped.
why.
20
Yo,
mil
this is
is
different.
crazy.
This is different, bro.
I don't even think they got 20 million. Jay, that's the thing. I don't even think they got 20 million in the cut for the damn county. Damn,
That part. That
probably in
You
shit
the
talking
crazy,
negative.
about
bro.
we out there stealing Cadillac converters. Ain't nobody stealing no fucking Cadillac converters.
Hey, nah. She ain't lying. They doing that for
they
sure.
Boy,
they
hey,
was
look,
they was in the 2000s.
They doing that shit. They
they
gotta get
stealing
that stuff,
Cadillac
man.
converter.
They
You
gotta
leave
get
your
that
car on
stuff
the
in
side
them.
of the
2015.
road for overnight. Your shit coming back. No Cadillac converter on the bottom of
Hell yeah, that shit gonna be gold.
it. And it's gonna be a clean cut. I'm
Oh,
talking
I
about
got you.
clean cut,
It's
boy.
called so to J Ali, it's at crimegrade.org. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. I got you. But it shows
Yeah,
you
go
kind of
look
how
up
your
Chicago.
how your county ranks.
Chicago probably wastes $1 billion.
Yeah,
Taking
bro.
Cadillac
Crime
converters
is
out of church
costly.
vans, boy.
Yeah, that shit different. But like you said, man, I think that this kind of speaks to all right. So based on what we just saw with our crimes and our statistics and stuff, right? Do y'all think it would be harder for us to come together to either be reactive or proactive to problems in the black community with
In
us having
Bertie
so?
County.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you talk about Bertie County.
Yeah,
What I tell y'all, I said $1 billion. It was $2 billion. So my
God.
good.
Damn.
I feel like it would be because, like, unlike Chicago, I feel like everybody not on the same wave. Everybody not on the same mindset as to where, you know.
I don't do that. That shit is a shit. My fault, Saudi.
No, I was laughing at Jolly. I
Yeah,
just
me
don't.
too. That's an F. You waste $2 billion. I don't give a damn. That's an F in any goddamn life you live ever in life. My fault, Saudi. Go ahead. Stop,
I mean,
ain't no
I
F.
just saying, like, I just don't feel like unlike the town of Chicago, I feel like versus us, I feel like we all, like, as a collective, we not on the same mind. Like, I feel like as the mental and intellect, like, we still ain't grasped that yet in our community. So it's going to be a little bit harder for us to come together as a collective because we still don't, I guess, see the greater benefits to it.
I think we got to solve in Bertie County. I think we would have to solve the poverty problem first before we can get on the collective wave of having any kind of agreement on what we need to go with. Because everybody on the same wave of, I mean, at least having something financially stable, then they gonna resort to whatever means that they ain't gonna be trying to hear. Hey, we gotta clean up and we gotta do this and that. And I'm like, nigga, I gotta eat, nigga. Shit.
Oh,
That's
Ari,
a
I couldn't
fact.
see the name.
It's
That
hard to
is a
solve.
fact.
It's hard to solve for
Ari. Oh, go ahead,
Hey,
Ari.
hello.
Hey, hello.
You
How you
always
been?
Well, and yourself.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How much of the show have you heard so far?
I literally just got on.
Okay. Got you. Got you. Got you. I got a question. Do you think black people are proactive or reactive when it comes to solving problems?
I think we're proactive
Okay. Tell me why.
because we're gonna figure it out.
So do we figure it out after we know it's a problem, or we figure it out before it becomes a problem?
Mm,
So do we figure it out after we fuck it up, or
uh,
do we figure it out before it gets fucked up?
it just all depends. So, sometimes yeah, you figure it out before it gets after. If sometimes if you've been down that road before, or you, but and then at times we figure it out after. It takes sometimes when things happen, just do it after, figure it out after.
What do you think happens more though?
We figure it out after.
After. So you would think we were more reactive?
hello.
She probably can't hear it. Might be a
All right.
lag. 'Cause my shit was lagging. Yeah, her shit lagging, bro.
Oh, okay. Got
'Cause
you.
I can hear myself echoing.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's get into one more video and then we'll close. Well, no, I gotta get to both of these videos real quick.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get up out of here,
Get
man.
I
out.
know. So which one? All right, so let's pick one video, go to it. Do y'all want to do a video on being proactive and not reactive? Or do you want to do a video on the difference between complaining and getting results?
Complaining and getting results.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
tired of
that's
that
when
shit.
motherfuckers
What
be
about
doing all
where
this
the
motherfucking
mirror at?
complaining. Ain't nobody
That's
trying
what
to
I
get no
want to
results.
see because that's part of the
Stuff
topic.
that was gonna be the main question, but
What was that aha question?
all right, so now listen, y'all trying to jump out of order. Y'all want me to play a video or you want the question?
No, what was
So I'm
the
just trying to do everything.
no?
I thought the video was
Hey,
motherfuckers complaining without getting results.
No, that is a video, but the question I had nothing to do with either video.
go to the
No,
question.
do
Go to the
that. Do the
question.
one
Go to the
about
question.
motherfuckers complaining.
I would be
Oh god
listen to
damn,
question.
boy.
All right, now y'all confuse me. Now when you
Damn, we
play the
gotta watch
video,
a
I'm gonna ask the
video on
question.
motherfucker complaining too.
What you
Yeah,
want, Ivan?
I'm gonna
What would
play
you?
the video. I'm just gonna play the
God
video.
damn
Don't
it.
worry about it. Hey, y'all, make sure you like, comment, and
Y'all gonna
subscribe as we play this
y'all
video,
gonna
and then we're gonna
y'all
ask you
gonna
a question.
complain
All
me
right.
sleepy.
There we go. We're gonna moderate this thing very quietly. I'm gonna subtly play this video, maybe twice because it's very short.
Hey Jay
Asking
Ali,
for
you gonna
help
stop with
means you've actually not given up. Complaining is almost like you're giving up and you're looking for sympathy. Oh, woe is me. But asking for help is basically saying, no, I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to come out of this victorious. I would like your assistance if you can. That's totally different. That's totally okay. And if somebody can help you and you know who they are and they can help you, definitely should ask for help, but never ask for sympathy. Asking for help means you've actually not given up. Complaining is almost like you're giving up and you're looking for sympathy. Oh, woe is me. But asking for help is basically saying, no, I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to come out of this victorious. I would like your assistance if you can. That's totally different. That's totally okay. And if somebody can help you and you know who they are and they can help you, definitely should ask for help, but never ask for sympathy.
I mean, I
that
think
nigga look
that's the
like
difference between growth and ego.
Yeah.
Hey, side note for this nigga, bruh. In 2015, we had a Spartan run in Colorado, and he was there. He joined in on it. He was actually a little bit bigger then than what he is now. He joined in on it. He wanted to put on the Snapchat. That's when Snapchat was a little bit more popular then. that nigga bust his ass like 6-7 times, but he came in third place. He bust his ass, but he powered through that motherfucker at the end. He wasn't trying
That
to quit.
nigga,
We didn't
that
even know the nigga
nigga
like that
look
then.
like a fucking. He look like a dookie turd after you eat a porterhouse steak and you finally take a shit. Bit like that big ass turd come out. Pause.
That's funny.
Get that together, Jay. I feel like Korea was 100% on point. Like what he said, I think it's a pride and an ego thing that we don't ask for help and we just get comfortable and complacent, just sitting there and just accepting like it is what it is, instead of just putting like the extra footwork in to actually get the resolution. Yeah,
It's a bar. That's a bar. Now I'm gonna ask the question. Anybody else want to answer or react to the video before I ask y'all the
People
hard
do
question?
what's easier. It's easier to point fingers and blame instead of getting off your ass and like doing that grind, put the work in.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. That's definitely a bar. So, do y'all think as Black people we do a better job when we have an enemy we can point at versus the enemy in the mirror?
Hell yeah.
I don't even think that's as Black people. I think that's people.
That's a people thing, yeah.
Fuck people. We talking about us. We love us.
Well,
Yeah, I just don't want to single us out on that one. But yeah, we do it too, just like along with everybody else. We do it. But like at the end of the day, like when you look in the mirror, do we point? I mean, like you said, that's a people. All right, so fuck it. It's human nature to do that, though. I'm not going to compare it to nobody else. It's human nature to do that, and especially if it's easy to identify like it go back to what CJ said. It's easier to identify the problem that you can point at. Yeah, it's easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like we don't like necessarily want to do the work because the work ain't easy. That shit don't feel good, like at times. So it's like because depending on your environment, if you're around a lot of niggas that's complacent, you're gonna be complacent. Like you're not gonna have that extra urge or that behind the scene like motivation of this be like, all right, I gotta get on my shit. I gotta get on my shit. Unless you do that shit yourself. And a lot of people, unfortunately, do need like a little extra motivation when it comes to certain things.
I think that, it ain't gonna be no cameras. It ain't gonna be no damn news showing up for you doing the work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And some people, fiend for that praise and credit, like Saudi was saying. So I feel like that work on yourself is really is for self. So people, don't value it as much as people saying, "Hey, great job on this. Oh, you out there in the hood, you doing the woo woo." So yeah, man, I think that's why. Like,
I don't know why Jay Ali in the motherfucking comments talking about don't nobody want to get up at 5 a.m. when this motherfucker takes like 30 fucking naps. You don't even know what 5 a.m. is. You nap all fucking day.
Hey, look, bro. I feel like something happened, right? Okay. So Saudi does great. She the only woman that deals with us, and feel me, on here on a weekly basis, right? But like for us to be having this topic and she just like bing, 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 something ain't right because she got the fireplace behind her. She got like her hair different. She got like this fucking counselor turtleneck on with the fucking jacket. I feel like I feel like you done gave her some shit and she been studying all week or something, bro. She just too on point, bro. Something ain't right, bro.
She got a turtleneck on?
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like it ain't even a turtleneck.
Saudi said it's in that ambience.
She in her mode today.
Yeah. Got in my little bed.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Talk your shit, Saudi. We proud of you. You definitely.
I don't know, man. I'm a firm believer that people that do excessive amount of complaining, and if you give them advice for something and they put a complaint on top of that, I disregard you real quick. I don't care what it is. Like when I was in the Army, a little time frame before I started going in and out of deployments, I was a fitness instructor for women before, during, and after pregnancy.
Bro,
before, during, and after pregnancy. And one thing I hated was the women that were pregnant, they would do all the complaining. But then I'd have that one woman that it'd be always that one woman that'd be 8-9 months in, still putting in the work, no complaints. Then I get them after they had the kids and they come back. They're like, oh, I can't do this and that third. I didn't have kids, this and the third. But then you get those 1 or 2 women. They ain't doing none of that complaining. They gonna try to. They know they struggling because they just had kids, but guess what they doing? They working back up. They're gonna build it back right. And before you know it, boom, they snap back. Your ass still complaining. So I hate that shit. Don't tell me, oh, I had kids, that's why my stomach like this. No, you had kids because you had kids. Your stomach like that because you didn't do nothing about it afterwards. Your kid 13, 14 years old. So after 13, 14 years, you still ain't done shit? You fucking like, come on now. I hate that shit, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You just lazy. Just say you lazy.
Complaining bring no results. Well,
Oh God.
That's real. No results you want.
Right.
I was about to
Well,
go on a
maybe it
rant,
is
but
a
I'm gonna
result you
stop.
want.
I'm like an asshole to females because y'all motherfuckers kill me. I'm gonna let it go.
We felt it coming, CJ.
I'm gonna let it go.
That shit real. I like
No, fuck that, because y'all motherfuckers be like 20-some years old and talking about, oh, my mama didn't cook for my daddy. I ain't gotta cook. What the fuck you mean you ain't gotta cook? Y'all should y'all need to have stocks in Uber Eats and DoorDash because y'all motherfuckers don't cook shit. Y'all just order everything or go out to eat. Y'all need to have stocks in that. Invest your money in something because y'all damn sure don't know how to cook. That shit annoying.
I'm about to eat me some collard greens and cornbread tonight after this in a minute.
Man, what? They don't know how to cook a damn thing, bro. That's all they do is just sit there and order everything. Let's go out to eat. For what? Pots and pans. Use them.
Oh shit.
I just learned how to cook collard greens for the first time the other day.
Look at that. Saudi 30 plus. She just now learned how to cook collard greens. Should have learned that shit 10 years ago, but at least she learned.
The initiative to learn how to cook the motherfuckers.
I mean, that's cool.
The hell? But yeah, I cooked them and they was on point. I was like, okay, grandma, yeah.
On point, my ass. They probably was over salty or some shit.
I got coached through it. It was good. They was.
Hold on. I ain't say I cook collard greens. I said I'm about to eat collard greens.
Oh.
No, don't eat hers because they probably not good. She's still new at this. She not true.
No, Jay was like, where I get collard greens at. I ain't say I cooked them. I just said I'm about to eat them. I got them from this place called shouts out to Neal Street Blues. It's a soul food spot. Tastes just like the crib.
Sound good.
That sound lit. That do sound.
Yeah, I want some chicken wings. This is crazy.
Then you got those mothers that be complaining about their damn kids being badasses and then try to blame it on the daddy, blame it on the school, blame it on the kids at the school. Your ass chose to let them kids be bad as hell. Like, motherfucking kids is bad because you let them be bad. Point blank, period. You let them get away with shit. Don't let your friends come over. And the kids say something fucked up to your friends. Y'all laugh it up. And because you laughing it up and just take it as a joke, guess what the kid gonna do? If you ever pay attention to little kids, when little kids do shit that deep down they low-key feel like it might be wrong or bad, as soon as they do it, what's the first thing they do? They look back at the mom.
Look at you.
And as long as the mom don't say shit, guess what? To him, that's a green light. I'm gonna keep doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then he keep doing it, then he start getting creative with it, then he start adding more things to it. And as long as he do that confirmation from you that you ain't gonna say shit about it, guess what? And now look what you got, a little badass kid. But you ain't gonna beat him. You ain't gonna say nothing to him. That shit cute to y'all. That shit's dumb as fuck. But when somebody finally address these people or address these women about that shit, what they do? Make excuses, blame everybody else. It's his daddy's fault. It's the school fault. No, it's your fault. Motherfucking your house.
Clock the
Why we keep doing this? Like,
because you got the phone.
I'm just saying, like, I despise when people make excuses for shit, and then when you give them advice or you try to help them out, all they do is give another fucking excuse. Is at that point, just shut the fuck up and just stop making excuses. Just deal with it. I hate that shit.
Right.
It's all good. Let y'all people be fat, unhealthy, shitty parents, poor as fuck because y'all know how to manage y'all money. It is what it is.
You came back, CJ, on 10, but I loved it.
Nah, man, I'm very big on that whole stop making excuses. No, not today. Not today. Unfortunately, I wish. God knows, I wish I could have kicked somebody in their damn face today. But
Y'all look too funny for me,
I don't know, man. I just hate people that make excuses, man. Like when I see people that go through that's been through we just saw the thing about us being from Bertie. You see Bertie's like a pretty much a rough ass fucking area to be in North Carolina. But yeah, you got all these people that's on this panel right now that made it out of Bertie. They did something for themselves. No excuses, but think of how many of our friends are still in Bertie. Got all the fucking excuses, ain't doing shit. Half these niggas is bumming off somebody else. I hate all of them. Like I just hate people that make excuses. They don't do shit for themselves. They just blame everybody else because that shit easy. Nobody want to put no work in no more.
Shouts out to Penn State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said shouts out to Penn State Penitentiary.
I mean, at least they in there, they can make the excuses, but they got somewhere to sleep.
No, what
they
I'm
get a
saying, yeah,
meal
that's what I'm
every
about to
now
say.
and then.
I'm about to say they be always that place ain't
Yeah,
going
they
nowhere.
good
Don't
in
worry
there.
about it.
At least in there, they don't even really make excuses no more.
Where is
they chilling?
You know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, CJ. That place ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about it. So, baby kids, they got the state penitentiary. You go college at, free meals at. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying? They gonna make sure you straight. All right, you know.
They good while they in there.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They got people that's friendly in there. You know, people that do kumbaya. You know.
I don't know. I just hate people complaining. Man, I got this cousin, man. I got his ass Monday. I fussed that nigga flat the hell out. He got to complaining because he got nigga got 5 kids, 5 kids, 3 baby mamas. He complaining because man, I ain't got the money to be doing this, that, and the third. Da, da, da. I'm trying to go all out for my birthday because it's birthday next month, right?
Birthday.
Who gives a fuck about your birthday, my nigga? Take care of the motherfucking kids. You mad because you ain't got the money to have fun for yourself? That's dumb as hell. You made all these damn kids. You making it like the kids just popped up. like it's the kids' fault they hear or some shit. No, nigga, it's your fault, idiot. You busted these fucking. And what's crazy is all 3 of these baby mamas. He never dated none of them. He was never in a relationship with none of them. He was just fucking them and popping babies. Like, you dumb nigga. Yes, that's what happens. Now deal with it. Nah, I want to complain because I ain't gonna have the money to celebrate my birthday next month because I got all these kids, all this child support. You sound dumb as hell. Get a second job. Shut the fuck up. I don't understand people, man. You can't just put yourself in situations and then get to complaining about it. That just sounds dumb as hell.
It's my birthday.
Shout out to the dads that give a fuck about their kids. God
that
damn,
man said he
bro,
wanted to see some shaky butts. Shaky butts who got him in that situation in the first goddamn play, ain't it?
Yes.
Nah, you right, because I met 2 of them baby mamas. Them motherfuckers, they body wise, they right. I give them that. It's like I get it, but you still gotta deal with them kids, nigga. Like, damn, I get it, but you still gotta deal with them kids.
You're on mute, Strata.
All right, Joe. We're gonna end the show on a creative way. I'm thinking of a number 1 through
1 through what?
1 through 7.
7.
I was about to say
1.
4.
7.
I already said 7. Who's gonna take my number?
3.
1.
Number's 3. Number's 3.
Yeah.
Who said 3?
Nobody.
Saudi said 4.
So I said 4. All right, Saudi, take us home. Wrap this show up and put it in a bowl.
Why would you do that?
Nigga, you pick. What you talking about? Close us out. Take us home.
Saudi look like a damn therapist on Zoom right now.
Hey, no, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Go put your hand right there real quick.
Like, on my fireplace?
Yeah.
No, fuck you, Gina.
Sounds like she's trying to get straight therapy.
I don't know how to take us home, but I just want to say, like, I feel like as a whole, we are definitely doing a lot of more proactive stuff We just have to come together and try to figure out how to do that together. I don't really know how to do this. So, yeah, Strata, Bino, Ari, Ivan, Wody, CJ.
Let me close this out, man. You know
Yes,
what
thank
I'm saying? Nah, I'm good.
she said a whole lot of nothing and a bunch of hand gestures.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Saudi did great, man. We're gonna continue to work. I say recognize the progress that been made, because if you don't think any progress gonna be made, it might not inspire you to start any progress. So don't disregard the progress that's already been made. Recognize it, and I feel like that will motivate us more as a whole. Like, let's start pushing the progress out here that we have made, so we can start motivating people more. Motivate people to do more. You know what I'm saying? People don't really join the party until the work is done, or until they look like, or so they can see the finish line. So if people don't have an idea of what work has been done already, it might not entice them to even join the party and do better. And that's how I'm closing that shit out.
I just want
For
to
the
add
most
one
part.
thing, part. I think we definitely, too, as a whole, we need to prioritize mental health a little bit more. As much as we like to say for like a little cop out that is not, there and available, it is there. There's free resources, low income resources. We just have to push that a little bit more. If you don't want to talk to a therapist, that's fine. Start to talk to someone. If it's a homeboy, a pastor, a mentor, find somebody, find your tribe, and definitely start having these conversations. So yeah.
Saudi with these damn therapy hands is crazy.
You on mute, Woody.
Well, you muted.
I mean, I don't really have much to say, man. I agree with Bino and Saudi. Like, we just need to, try to recognize our problems as a collective more, if we're gonna do things as a collective error. But if we just, we're gonna do it individually, let's just, what I'm saying, plan our work and work our plan, you know what I'm saying? And stick to it. Don't lie to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Stay honest and keep our word to ourselves.
Oh hell. Niggas gonna be reactive regardless. Y'all saw that damn list. That list basically said, if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. Y'all saw what the hell that damn list said. Outside that, stop complaining, stop being bitches, and just get the fuck off your ass and do some work. Just grind. All that complaining shit is a waste of time. Bars.
Okay. I like it.
And I said, according to the list, we got to be better at parenting. We got to work on our kids more, work on ourselves more. Don't be ashamed to be truthful with them. To raise them to be better than what we are or what we were. So that's what I would say.
It's on you, Ari.
Okay. I'm sorry, since I came in a little late, I don't really didn't know, the topic of the whole, podcast tonight. But yeah, work together as Black people, become more proactive so that we can see a better result going forward, and to be able to pass down, to our children, so that they could be proactive. That's the only thing I think of.
Like it.
That's it.
check.